Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen, and I'm joined by the Tuckster tonight. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing really good.
Well, we got a treat tonight. We're going to be doing a $300 to $500 no-limit hold'em game, and our own Shirley Rosario is playing in the game right now.
Really?
So it's going to be interesting to see how she does.
Yeah, very exciting.
And everyone out there can critique her play. So without further ado, let's get to the action.
Why don't we do that? In seat 1...
Let's go around and introduce the players.
Yeah, we've got Mo there. And he's got, I'm going to give chip counts real quick. He's got about 600 chips. Seat 2, we've got Al. And there he is. Al, familiar face there. He's got about 400 chips. Seat 3, we've got Hollywood Russ. And there he is, Hollywood there. He's got about 350.
Yeah.
Seat 4 is Shirley with about 230. There she is, our own Shirley Rosario. Seat 5, we've got Brian, and Brian seems to be kicking some butt here. He's got about 1,100 chips. Seat 6, we've got Ken. There he is, wearing the LA Dodgers hat. And Ken has got about 700 chips. Seat 7 is Paul. Not there right now, obviously. He's got over 300 in chips. Seat 8 is Sergio, and he's got about 300 in chips. And Seat 9 is Josh, toiling about $50.
So our own Shirley Rosario in seat number 4.
20. Yes.
Looks like she does not have a hand here, first hand. Mo's going to come in for a raise. He's got pocket 9s, and Alan in seat 2 is going to make the call with king 10 offsuit. Now, Dave, the yellow chips in this game are $5 chips. The blues are $1 chips. The purples are 25, and the whites are hundreds. And look at this, Al's outflopped Mo. And Alan's a real he's a real solid player. And Mo says, I have ace 10, and he bets. And Al quickly
to me,
calls.
I actually think Al's a little passive for my taste. But
turns a 6. And Mo's going to put the pressure on Al, right? He's going to bet 200, and Al quickly calls. And we've got about a $500 pot, bro, about $550. And Al only has maybe 90 left. Now, the river's a 5.
And I imagine this is going to go check. I mean,
it did go check.
Now, I got to be honest, though. If I'm Al, though, if Mo checks it, you got to know your hand's good.
I was thinking the same thing, Dave. I was thinking, a 5. It's a 1 card straight to the board. But if he checks it, he might as well bet the remaining 90 for value, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, if he had jacks, queens, kings, or aces, or ace 10, he's probably going to continue betting. Certainly going to bet your last $90.
Absolutely.
Nice hand, Alan.
Got a king.
So we've seen some of these players before.
Yeah.
Shirley's got a king. Shirley's in seat 4. She's already mugged. King, queen offsuit. But Shirley's looks like she's got an out button there.
Yeah, she's on the phone. You can see her legs in the background.
Pot is going to be limped around here. Oh, Shirley is in the small blind. She is in the hand. She's got 8-9 offsuit. And she hits top pair. Let's see how she plays it.
Bet.
She says she's going to bet, Dave.
I want to check.
And she's in kicker trouble because Brian has 9-10. But Brian immediately mucks the 9-10. What respect, huh?
Wow. That really is.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know.
A good aggressive play. Of course, she never shows her cards. She mucks the hand. Takes it down.
Now, I've heard through the grapevine that I might have offended 1 or 2 people out there.
Yeah.
By calling a beautiful young lady. I called a young lady a hoe on Friday.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize to anybody that I offended out there. Obviously, it was just meant as a joke. And if I offended anybody, well, obviously we don't mean to here. Sometimes, obviously, we criticize players and we criticize their play.
Right.
And it's never really a personal thing.
Pot is limped around here. Queen 10-8 on the flop. Looks like seat 1's got Jack 10, and Mo's going to bet here with second pair. He's got a gut shot. And Sergio's going to call with pocket 3s. Turns a 7.
Check, check.
And the river here is a queen. It went check, check on the turn. Now Mo's trying to figure out he's just going to check it down. And Mo's going to take it down there with the jack.
Yeah, Mo takes it down. Now, oftentimes, obviously, since we open ourselves up as commentators here, we open ourselves up to criticism, and obviously we're criticizing players. And most of the players that we're actually criticizing, most of them are friends with, and we actually have to face in the casino day in and day out. And most of them know not to take it personal. If obviously they make a play that we don't particularly like, just our opinion.
Right. And I think you were just having a little fun.
Yeah, no doubt a doubt. Next time I call somebody a hoe, I will make sure that they actually are indeed a hoe.
We've got three-way action here.
Yeah, Mo raised it up to $15 with the old 8-6 offsuit. He got called in 3 spots.
Jack 10, 8 here on the flop. The turn is a 5.
Sergio's got top and bottom.
Yes, he does.
But he checked it.
And C3's gonna, or C8. Well, now he's gonna bet. Now he's gonna bet. So he checked it on the flop, and now he bets.
And Mo calls.
Mo's got a pair of 8s. And the river's a king. Check. Looks like it's just gonna get. Oh, Mo's gonna bet.
100.
That's 100 here, Dave. Well, I mean, if you have 2 pair here, I mean, you're just scared of ace queen. There, it's not an obvious.
Well,
straight,
ace
and you do
queen,
make the
king
call.
jack.
Yeah, he does make the call.
Got 2 pair. Yeah, jack.
And obviously, Mo, by betting there, do you think that he needed to bet to win in showdown?
Yeah, I think he knew that. Sergio bet the turn.
Yeah.
And I think he figured, okay, Sergio's probably got at least a jack or a 10.
Right.
Obviously, Sergio didn't bet the flop, so you
Right.
probably put him on maybe a weak jack or just a 10.
And I think that Mo checked the flop as well.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
somebody could be coming out and betting a weak jack.
Yeah, or even a 10, like 10-9, say.
And the king is a scare card, obviously.
Without that.
We just want to apologize a little bit. We had a little bit of trouble with the commercial in the beginning of the show. So we're on now, and people popping on here. Welcome to Live at the Bike.
$35.
$35 raise here. We got pocket queens and pocket jacks.
Yeah, Shirley's got the queens.
Yep. Our own Shirley Rosario with queens. Now, the thing is that seat 9 is
All in.
pretty short.
All in. Another.
He's got about $5 more. And Mo's got a suited connector, so maybe he wants to build a side pot here, and he does. He makes the call.
Okay.
And Shirley calls.
One all in.
And Shirley actually told me, she told me queens are sometimes tough for her.
And look at this flop. Shirley's flopped a set. The other guy has a set, and Mo has a flush draw.
Yep.
And Shirley's going to bet with the set.
50.
She bets 50. Let's see what Mo does with the flush draw
That's
here.
a pretty
Dave.
weak bet.
He calls. He makes the call. The turn's at 3.
Check.
Pot is about $200 right now.
Mo checks.
120.
And she's going to bet 120 here. Wow, and Mo calls, Steve.
Well, I mean, the pot was 200. She bet 120, so she's betting 120 to win 320.
Yeah. But it is a pure flush draw. And the river is a deuce.
Well, now he's got a straight draw.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, give him one more card.
Well, Mo checks. And actually, Mo just mocked the hand. But Shirley's going to bet for value anyways there at the end.
I would bet.
And I wonder, and Josh shows the jacks as well. Set over set. Too bad we didn't have more chips in play that hand, huh, Dave?
Oh, yeah, that could have been a
Could've
big pot.
seen Big fireworks.
Mo, you're harder than anybody else to try to figure out.
He said, don't think too long.
That's all he-
You missed that flush draw or straight draw, Mo?
And,
Of course,
and
if you
Mo is, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Mo is actually one of the players at this table that Shirley really does respect. And, it was tough. She was wondering, what does this guy have? Does he have a straight already?
And, of course, you can follow a live thread that is started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out,
15.
Click on Forum to World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. The official Live the Bike thread for October 13th.
3
Now we have a raise here by seat 6 with King 9, couple callers, and he's hit top pair. Ken in seat 6. Al's got a straight
25.
draw. And Al's going to bet here with the straight draw. He bets 25,
50.
and Ken's going to raise it up to 50.
Okay, 2 player. Oh.
And Al makes the call. Turn is a 6.
Check.
Al checks.
Bet 50.
And it's a $50 bet this time by Ken, and Al gets away from it.
Thank you.
Looks like we got a post here on 2+3 by the great Barry Wards, Dave.
Yeah, interesting. I just read it myself. And didn't get a chance to actually see the game last night.
Uh-huh.
But I will check it out on the archives in a day or two when it's up.
I think one of the hands he was talking about that he got caught with, I was explaining it to you after the show, Dave, was basically you had a $200 raise. I think 4 or 5 people called, and he had Queen Jack in the blind. He let out. The flop came Queen High, Queen 10-6 with 2 spades. Ed moved all in for $3,000. Barry bet $500 into a $1,000 pot. Ed moved all in for $3,000.
Raise.
Frank, the Mexican poker player in seat 5, called $3,000, and then Barry pushed all in with the Queen Jack, and I gave him a little bit of a hard time. I'll get into that more. Now
We
got a-
overcalled just top pair
Yeah.
and a weak kicker. Well, not a weak kicker, but not a great kicker.
I believe Mo is raised here with pocket 10s. He makes it 40 to go.
I'll look you up one time, bro.
And looks like Brian's going to call. So we're heads up, King Jack of Diamonds against pocket 10s. About an $85 pot.
Brian's got position on him.
And he outflops him.
And he goes check, check.
And now Mo's going to bet.
50.
$50 bet. So Brian actually checked top pair in position. Let's see what Brian does here.
Looks like he's just going to call.
He's struggling with his chips. He calls.
Doesn't want to release them.
And the river's a 4. And Mo checks. Boy, Brian played that hand pretty passively,
Yeah.
but he's going to take it down there with the King Jack.
I mean, you got to think, if the guy had King Queen, he's going to bet it, right?
Right.
If he has Ace King, he's probably going to bet it.
Yeah.
So your King Jack is probably good.
Yeah.
Why not throw a little value bet in there?
But basically, getting back to that hand, Dave, I mean, you've got a $500 lead in bet. The pot's $1,500. Ed moves all in for $3,000. Frank calls the $3,000. And Barry has $4,800 left, so he just moves all in. And he actually lost $1,800 on the side to Frank.
You said one player had a set?
Actually, Ed had aces that he was just smooth called. And Frank had King Queen.
Yeah.
So he was beating both spots.
Yeah, Queen Jack, you can't beat much there.
Yeah.
And to beat 2 players is tough, obviously.
We got a raise here by seat 6. He's got pocket 4s.
I mean, in Barry's defense, sometimes it is hard to read players like Ed and Jesus.
And look at this, a set of 4s. Jack 8-4. Hollywood Russ has got an open-ended straight draw.
Oh, yeah, this is going to get...
And Ken bets 50. Al calls with the pair. And let's see what Russ does. He's got an open-ended straight draw, 10-9. He's going to get rid of it, Dave. Well, there's a 2 flush out there. Now, Al needs some huge help. He's going to need running cards. That's going to do it. The turn is an ace.
Wow. It's a big laydown there for Hollywood Russ, huh? 2 flush out there.
Ken shows the set of 4s.
You know, when you get the in-between call there, when Ken bets and we get a call before Hollywood Russ, he's got to sit there and go, well,
3 in 1 round.
maybe one of them has spades. And I think that's what he was worried about.
And,
3 that we've seen.
you know, sometimes I throw out there, like, what is Barry thinking? And I say that somewhat rhetorically. And I went back and, you know, maybe what Barry was thinking on that hand yesterday was that Ed might have been raising all in with a draw, and Frank might have just had a weaker queen.
Right.
I mean, that's probably what got him to
yeah,
call, right?
and in defense of Barry, I mean, that could just as easily have happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We've seen that before.
We got a raise here
3 player.
by Sergio. He's got 7-8 of hearts. Mo calls with 8-10 of clubs, and Shirley's got King Jack, and Shirley's got top pair. She's going to bet.
Yeah, she's in first position here under the gun, and she bets it anyway.
I got to tell you something that I noticed about Shirley. I've played with her not that much, but, you know, if she's got top pair with, you know, a medium kicker from early position, she likes to bet it. I mean, we saw that with the 8-9 hand, and she actually got Brian to lay it down, where a lot of people in the early position might check and see what happens.
I mean, generally speaking, I like to bet it too. I'm not going to assume that somebody's got just because I have a bad kicker, I can't assume that somebody else has top pair also.
15.
$15 raise here.
I mean, obviously there are times to check raise, and there are times to just check and try to take it away in the turn, but...
Ken's got King Jack offsuit.
3 players.
And Brian makes the call with 8-5 offsuit in the blind. We got King 7 in there. And it looks like the flop misses everyone.
25.
$25 bet here.
Another one?
Well, nice here. You know, Ken bets when he makes his hand. He bet when he had a set of 4s, and he bets when he has nothing.
Yeah.
No, you do not. You would have said it. You would have said, look
Once
at
again, we
how
are
much
live at
I
the bike here. I'm David Tuckman here at Bart Hansen. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5.
Look at this. We already have a post on here, Dave, from 2+2. 7 and 7 said, I knew you would get busted for that hoe comment, Tuck.
Hey, like I said, you know what? We put ourselves out there, okay? We try to tell the truth. We try to speak the truth. And, you know, hey, I'm willing to take criticism. I know you are too. Neither one of us are above it.
Absolutely. Mo is raised here with pocket 8s, and Al's called with deuce 5 of hearts.
Wow.
Jack 9-9. Mo pushed his money over to Al.
And bets it.
Yeah. And Al's going to money.
I mean, have you ever seen Al make a move?
You know, you're right. He is a little passive.
Well, I just think, to me, just top pair or somebody. I don't mind calling, letting Mo bet his bluff. But I've never seen him make a move. I mean, I'm curious why somebody would pay him off.
Right. Oh, by the way, the answer to that question is yes.
Yes, what?
I am above the criticism.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not, actually. And if you have any comments or criticisms or questions...
I'm just kidding.
Feel free to email us at liveatthebike.com, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Bet 15.
Or address your concerns.
Now, Ken has bet here. Flop is Jack 7-5, couple of diamonds. He bets on the 5.
Paul's got 2 pair.
Yep, Paul's got top 2, and he raises. And Ken calls. Wow. Turn is a 6.
And Paul's Ken's in real bad shape here.
Yeah. Paul's going to bet 40 here on the turn. Well, I don't mind the bet there by Ken, but when you get raised, it's kind of tough to stick around there with 10-5
Right, exactly.
off, out of position.
I think a lot of people do that. We see that all the time in Limit, too, where somebody raises. Somebody bets, somebody else raises you, and then you feel inclined to at least pay the raise off and take one more card off. And I do appreciate the support from 2+2. Thank you very much.
Keeping it real, Tuck, keeping it real.
Yeah, if you want to follow a thread, obviously you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, and go to forums, go to World Poker Tour and other events, and click on the Live at the Bike thread for, what is it?
October 13th.
Thank you.
It's my parents' anniversary.
How many years?
33.
33
And I'm an
years.
only child, too.
Wow.
Seed 8 is bet here. He has nothing, Dave.
Well, nobody has anything.
The flop was actually Jack 10 deuce.
Yeah.
Jack 10 deuce.
Honestly.
But it didn't matter. Look at
Sergio
this.
takes it down with 8 high.
Yeah, no idea on 2+2 says, what do you two hoes think of the whole rakeback situation at party? Well, I have to throw something out here. Us two hoes.
Us two hoes.
I got to throw something out here. I've been kind of getting into 2+2, posting up in the forums. I actually posted something in the Rakeback forum today. I'm looking for my Empire affiliate. Has anyone know where he is? And I'm afraid to say it on the thread because I don't want to get banned. I think it's against the rules. Anybody know who Buster Stacks is out there? I can say it on the show because we can say anything on the show. I'm not
Can you?
violating any rules.
You might get fired for that. Can't say Buster Spats.
I'll get to it at the end of this hand. Seat 4 has raised here to 20.
Wow, Shirley's raising it up with deuce,
Deuce
3 of
three
clubs.
And Paul is called here.
No, Paul re-raised ace,
Pa-
queen, and diamonds.
Oh, I see. He did re-raise.
That raise was for fun.
Yeah, Shirley's saying that raise was for fun with deuce 3 of clubs.
Two players.
But Brian makes the call with 5-6. Wow. And we're heads up. King 8-7, couple spades.
He's open-ended now.
One time you put off it on the
I just
So
messed
Paul
around.
re-raised from the button with ace queen. And that's not the flop you actually want to hit with ace queen, but he is in position,
No,
Dave.
and that's a pretty small bet. I mean, he bets $50 into about a $150 pot.
And Brian calls and he spikes the straight on the turn. And he checks it.
100.
And look at this. Paul
in.
bets 100 and Brian check raises them all in.
And that's the problem with ace queen.
Yeah.
That's just for fun.
And he shows the straight. And Brian takes it down there in seat 5. But what I was saying was that this guy's name is Buster Stacks on 2
Buster
plus 2.
Stacks.
Or Buster Stack. He ran a website called 30% Land. Okay? I tried to PM him. He didn't get back to me. I'm sure he's a very, very reputable guy. He's probably mobbed with emails. But I
Latest
just
I've
want,
heard, he's in Argentina.
I just want a way to contact him. So if anybody knows who that guy is or a way to contact him, you can PM me at Bart Hansen and just tell me how to contact him. What's going on with 30% Land? I think some of the other people are in the same boat with me, Dave, you know. We've got some rake back money that's lingering around from this month, and we wonder what's going to happen to it. Seat 1 here is raised to
Yeah,
20.
Mo's going to raise it up with ace jack of clubs.
Yeah.
Let's see what Shirley does with ace 10 offsuit here in the face of a raise.
You guys started to bluff. I'm going to bluff all the
Well, and Mo has gone all in.
Wow, he's moved all in.
Open in. And I checked. and
Did
he
we have a
checked.
re-raise there by somebody?
Got very lucky.
Oh, Mo was in the blind. I see.
Yeah, there was a small little $15 raise from King 10.
Yeah.
Ken made it $15, and Mo said, forget this, I'm taking it all down right now.
I think actually Shirley might have brought it in with ace 10 because I
Did
think
she?
she had chips in
Okay.
the pot. And Mo moved all in there in the blind to get down. That's not really that bad of a move, Dave, if you think you pick up the dead money and think people are going to be weak.
So you're risking $500 to win 45?
Well,
You like that play?
I guess it's a problem if the other people are as deep as you, yeah.
I mean, I guess you can get called if you get called, one set of 8 times. There's still a chance you might win, too.
Right.
But you're only going to get a call by hand that completely dominates you. I
But
mean,
of
one
course,
hand
it
might
puts
call
the
you.
pressure on people to call.
Of course, but
Because
one
you're the
hand
one
might
that's
call you.
raising. Probably
Queens, kings,
queens,
aces,
kings,
or ace,
and
king.
aces, yeah. I don't know about ace king.
Yeah, it might not even call you, right?
Pot is limped around here.
Mo's got a nice suited connector on the button. 7-8 of clubs.
Queen 7 deuce. And it looks like Mo actually has the best hand.
Yeah, he does.
Let's see if he bets it in position, Dave. Well, this guy in seat 8, he's been betting with nothing a lot. He bets 25, and Mo calls. Sergio's got 10-6. Big bluffer so far tonight, Dave.
Yeah, I think they think it's bluff night.
Turns a deuce. It's a third diamond.
Not much Mo can beat out here. Can't beat a deuce, can't beat
He
a
just
diamond,
bets
can't beat a
25
queen.
again. And look at that. Mo's gonna get away.
Well, the deuce of diamonds really I mean, if this guy was betting with a deuce or diamonds or a queen, what can Mo beat except a pure bluff?
Right.
Which is what Sergio actually had.
Now, it's funny because I was having a discussion with Shirley last night, and again, I don't want to harp on this too much, but I think it's important, especially with our viewers in the land of internet poker, about the rakeback situation, Dave. And she had an idea where she was actually glad that it happened, and she thought that people, I don't want to put words into her mouth, but I'm interpreting that she actually thought that people
20.
were violating the contract by, say, having a party account and then going to a skin. She thought it was kind of cheating the system.
Well, it is, kind of, isn't it?
I guess, but I guess.
I mean,
it's
if I was the CEO of Party Poker, I think it's a good move by
Oh,
Party
it's
Poker.
a good
Long.
business move by Party Poker,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't look at it like if I did that and moved over to, say, Empire,
We're looking
that
out-
I'm cheating. I don't feel that. It's not like I'm going and stealing a car. You know
You're
what I mean?
looking
Dave?
out for number one, obviously. Well, I know, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, most people do look
I mean,
out
it's
for
like
themselves.
using a coupon. Like I said, some people said using a coupon like at a retail store. Why is it if somebody came in 6 months later, do they get a rake back and I don't because I joined their site 6 months before? How about that? Just putting
Yeah,
that
it's a
out
good
there.
point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We got a quick little chip count here. I'll go through them real quick, and there they are. Brian's still in the lead. A couple $100 off there. Moving up. Shirley's made a nice little move up. She was down to 250 up to 600 now. Sometimes this 3 to 5 game can really get big, can it?
Yep. Al's going to raise here. He's got. He shows a deuce. He had ace deuce there, and he shows a deuce, and he takes it down.
Yeah, well, bluffing is contagious. Once one person bluffs, the whole table starts bluffing.
as you fold it, I had a chance.
So do you think that move is going to generate more revenue for Party in the long run?
I would imagine so. Eventually,
Yeah.
people will realize, there's no point in playing on Empire or Eurobet or whatever
Right.
the skins are, and eventually they'll go to Party.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go where the action is.
Right. And it's almost like Party had set up a situation where they were having people compete with themselves. You know what I mean?
Right, but they have to understand that the skin system that they had and the affiliate program they had is the reason Party Poker was as popular as it is.
Right.
And the reason you played on those sites was because of the 30% rate back.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shirley.
We have a raise
Only getting
here
there so bad.
by Mo. He brought it in with deuce 4 spades. Under the gun, he's going to get called. Oh, excuse me, but with the ace 10 offsuit.
Ace 10, yeah.
He's going to get called in a bunch of spots here. Looks like 4 spots. So 5-way action, $100 pot, queen deuce 9, couple clubs.
Yeah, Shirley's on there in the button with 5-7 of hearts, but that's not a good flop for 5-7 of hearts.
No.
Well, actually, it's not a bad flop. You can get away from it real easy.
Well, everybody checked. Now the turn is a jack. Still doesn't look. Does anyone have a pair yet, Dave? Well, Kent's got 8s. Pocket 8s are good right now.
Yeah, Mo is open-ended.
Right. Let's see if he bets it now with the ace 10. And
Actually-
he's going to move all in.
Actually, Al has the best hand here.
Oh, he's got ace 9.
Ace
Yeah.
9. But can he really call?
He doesn't. Not going to get involved. Mo using his chips there. He's going to take down the pot.
Yeah. And that's about a $100 pot there. $20 raise, 6 ways, $120 pot.
Absolutely. We're having a little trouble. Normally you can email us at live@thebike.com, Dave. I'm just going to check this out one more time, but we were having a little bit of trouble with our wireless connection in here. So we might point everyone to the 2+2 thread for tonight, and we'll have that back on
Okay.
tomorrow. This evening. Yeah, we're still down there on the email. So
Yeah, I don't ever have
On the down low.
I'll let you know if
Low
that
down.
comes back up. Yeah.
I'm at the practice that.
Let's have some fun.
So the button now is in seat 5.
Alan? Is that for me?
You win the pot.
Couple limbers.
You have to be in it first.
Okay, I
Shirley's not going to join the party.
Alan said I have to be in the spot.
Couple
Seat 6 here. That's
Yeah.
Ken. He's got pocket jacks.
in the small blind, and he's going to raise, Dave. Now, obviously, there's different ways to play this, right? You could actually just check it and try to hit a set, like almost like a small set.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's going to raise, and look at this.
At a
Brian,
table like this, though, where everybody's assuming everybody's bluffing,
Yeah.
it's not bad value play.
Brian's got Queen Jack of Diamonds and makes the call on the button, so we've got about a $120 pot, and Ken leans out. So a little under half the size of the pot. Now, do you sense that as a weak bet in position?
I think so.
Might you mix it up with this guy right now? That he doesn't like the king?
I mean, it either smells to me that either smells like this guy's got a set of kings,
yeah.
or he's got like ace queen, or he's got tens or jacks. I mean, that's just to me. Obviously, we're seeing it, so it's hard to say it. But the pot is what, maybe 120?
120, and he bets 50 into it.
You know, I mean, if you had pocket aces here, would you bet only $50?
So might you make a move there, possibly? In
You
position?
could. You could. If you think the guy's weak, but then again, he could be really strong. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's one of those times you go. Oftentimes, I think really something that looks really weak can also be really, really strong.
Didn't have
So.
one heart in my hand.
He wanted you to call.
Look at this. Suited Chef says, I find it amusing that Bart is above criticism, but not above Oriental chicks.
And he actually puts the in there.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it.
Again, for those of you that just joined us,
15.
That's worse than you are.
I guess that there were some comments on Friday that Dave and I made that might have offended some people, and we apologize.
Yes.
We tried to stay away from that type of thing.
And we do criticize people's play, but we do not want to make it personal, obviously.
Yeah, we've got three-way action here. Jack 4-3.
25.
Ken has the best hand.
And he's going to bet. He bets 25 from the button.
Hey, he's got second pair.
And Sergio calls with a gut shot wheel draw. He has an overcard. Well, there's the overcard. Turn is an ace.
Check.
I'll check.
And it goes check, check. And the river's an ace. Running aces for Sergio.
25.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to bet 25 here.
See, and that, it's kind of like a really strong bet looks like a weak bet sometimes. It's hard to see. Is this guy trying to steal a pot?
I think it's
Or
about
did he spike an ace?
half,
Another
the,
two aces?
half the size of the pot here, Dave. Well, the guy can't beat the jack either, so that might make it a little bit more easy. Well, he's going to make the call.
But the only thing he can beat is like 5-6.
He's
Yeah.
got an ace. Listen.
Sometimes I always think it's fishy there, too, for someone to bet. If you bet in position on that flop. Now, an ace is a special condition, Dave, because a lot of people might play ace X and might stick in there with ace 4 and then hit 2 pair. But if, let's say, the guy had a jack and a king came on the turn and he got checked to him, what would stop him from betting again? So if he checks behind you, he probably doesn't have a jack unless he's trying to get a little bit, trying to mix it up a bit. Do you see where I'm going there?
Yeah, no, definitely.
You have a
Because
There's not much-
overcards aren't going to necessarily hurt you,
Right.
in that case, obviously. Depends on the texture of the board and such.
20.
Got a $20 raise here by Ken. He's got pocket 7.
Right arm's got to be tired.
Ace 5 of clubs.
That's an action game, huh?
$60 pot. And Sergio's picked up a club draw. Nadiv has second pair. Ken continues to bet here. Gets checked to him.
35.
Yeah, and Ken is in bad shape here.
Again, he bets about half the size of the pot, $35.
Ken's got one out. The 7 of hearts. That's it.
Sergio calls, and Nadiv calls. Nadiv has the best hand right now.
Hard for him to know that, though, isn't it?
It's about a $160 pot. The turn is a 3.
50.
Look at this. Ken is going to bet 50 into a $160 pot there, Dave. I don't know.
Well, hey, if he gets Nadiv to lay the hand down, he is now good.
If the club doesn't come.
Right, exactly. Or an ace. Or a 4.
Well, now Sergio's picked up a wheel draw as well.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say 4.
Now, with that type of weak bet there, $50, might you want to check raise there with the ace-5, sensing a little bit of weakness?
You know, you and I, we always say I'd much rather be raising with
Right.
my draws than calling with my draws.
So it's about a $300 pot, and the river's a queen.
Yeah.
An ace-9 is good. But look at this. Ken's going to fire again here,
Well, I think he thinks he has to.
and he might take it down. It's a $400 pot. It's $100 to call. Can Nadiv call here with ace-9?
To be honest with you, I was surprised Nadiv called the flop and the turn.
Yeah.
But when he did, I don't know what's stopping him from calling it now.
$400 pot, $100 to call. So it's $100 to win $400 here. And he does. He makes the call there, Dave.
Good call.
And ace-9 is good.
There's 7.
And if you go back in that hand there, had Sergio raised
The turn.
even the flop,
Yeah,
had he raised the flop or the turn, he probably takes the pot down.
absolutely.
There's no way Nadiv can
I just
call.
think, it's like you said, it smells like once you get to the turn there, and you've got a pot that's $160, if a guy really did have a strong hand like a set, really would he only bet 50?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes people get tricky on the flop, like they bet small and they have a monster to get tricky with it, but the turn card's really, the tell card right there in position.
Yeah, I mean, if the guy's got there are 2 clubs out there, and if,
Right.
and if the guy had ace king
Right.
or king queen,
Right.
I just don't see him betting $50. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
Yeah. So that's why, Sergio's got a pretty strong drawing hand with one card to come.
And people are always asking me, what's the best tell? How do you know when somebody... I always say the best tells are pay attention to what these players are betting. Their betting patterns give away everything.
We've got 3-way action in here. Paul got weak aces, and Paul was the raiser in seat 7, and he's picked up second pair, and he bets 20.
And he's got the best hand, and he's in great shape because they all have the same ace.
Right. Someone would have to catch running pair.
Yeah, well, Sergio's got a gut shot here. An 8 would give Sergio the bottom end of the straight.
50.
Looks like he's going to take it down there, Dave. Look at that. Sergio made the raise. and took it down with the gut shot. So Sergio.
It's odd. Like, he makes a raise. He bluffs when he has nothing.
Right.
He makes a raise when he's got nothing. But when he actually has a hand to fall back on, he plays it passive.
I don't like money at all.
You got a bet there with ace-9, and Sergio raises, and he takes it down.
If you bet at me and I got something, I have to call.
20.
And they're talking about it on 2+2 about players showing cards. And I happen to agree. I do not like showing hands. I mean, I will say last night I actually showed my quad aces. But with the exception of that, I do not like to show hands.
Seat 8's got an ace-7 of diamonds. And who was the raiser here pre-flop? Seat 6, Ken had pocket 7s. He raised pre-flop. And now he's going to bet 20 on the flop, and Sergio just calls here with top pair.
2 players.
So we got about an $80 pot that turns a 5, and now Sergio's picked up the nut flush draw. And Ken checks. Ken's got a straight draw now to the 4.
Yeah, he's basically drawing to chop this one up.
25.
Yep, $25 bet and a call there by Ken.
He's got one out to win the hands.
$130 pot. River's a 5. And it just goes check, check there, Dave.
Not many of them that are good.
Would you bet the ace there for value? On the end there, on the river? I mean, the guy bet on the flop and then he checked the turn. You're in position.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly screams like he does not have an ace.
Yep.
You know? I think a lot of players miss out on some value bets. So just out of curiosity, oh, and for all those players in 2+2, I just want to let you know, I raised in the big blind last night with ace-king and with pocket aces.
In a limit game, huh?
In a limit game. Call me crazy. Now, just out of curiosity, when I capped it from the big blind with my pocket aces, and the flop came out an ace and the turn came out an ace, did you know I had aces, or did you put me on kings? What did you put me on? I'm just out of curiosity. I know you weren't in a hand.
I never watch any of your hands. We have a raise here by seat 8 with pocket 3s, and looks like 2 other people have called.
Check.
Ace, ace, 8, and look at this. Hollywood Russ has ace 8. He's flopped the full house.
Well, let's see how he plays it.
Bet
He's
20.
flopped the absolute nuts.
Well, Paul bets 20 here with pocket 3s. Russ just calls. And Russ is out of position, I believe. So again, tough to sometimes slow play out of position, Dave. Turn is a king. It goes check, check, and the river's a 7.
Because you bought everybody this time. Only 15 minutes though.
So the action's over there to Russ. About a $60 pot. He bets 50 here. And what really can pocket? I mean, if ever a time where you can pretty much 100% know that your hand, and he shows it, is no good. I mean, is that the case right there with pocket 3?
Yeah, without doubt.
Unless you think the guy is just so crafty that he's just setting up pretty much.
Well, he'd be just
A
he's
bluff on
calling
the
just to
river.
make a play.
Well, I mean, in that case, you would have to be thinking 2 steps ahead, calling on the flop pretty much to set up a bluff on the river if you check behind on the turn. I know.
And once again, now Hollywood Rush shows his cards,
Yep.
shows everybody how he plays it when he flops a full house.
Looks like the email's back up here, Dave, so you can email us at live@thebike.com.
There you go.
Start screaming, do it just a little hard.
Hey, when all fails, just unplug the darn thing, huh?
That's true.
Plug it
Isaac
back
tells
in.
me he deals with servers and stuff all the time, and a good old-fashioned reboot of a computer does the trick a lot of times.
There you go.
A restart of a server, too, right?
Hey, now Shirley's got 3-4. She's open-ended.
Yep.
See how she plays it, and she bets it.
She bets 15. The pot was limped around. 8-5 deuce here. She's going to bet 15.
And Ken calls, and Sergio calls.
Yeah. Ken calls with queen 10. Wow.
Yeah, now Shirley also bets her top pair this way, so
Yeah.
she's mixing it up.
Turns a 5.
She's playing her draws the same way. Now she checks.
Now she checks. Now let's see if Sergio puts a bet in here.
Got top pair, not much of a kicker.
It's about a $70 pot, and he bets $50. And Shirley is done with the hand, it looks like.
Yep. Just took a shot at it. Got called in 2 spots and throw it away.
It was nice to see Mark Safe stop by towards the end of the game last night, Dave. He's, of course, going to be the commentator for PPT coming up, whatever network that's going to be on. I think it's still in litigation.
Yeah.
And he actually went on, and he was actually the big winner. He played for about 20 minutes after the show, and when we were gearing up to do towards the end of the show and trying to get our closing interview, which we did with Joe Wynn, who was the big winner at the time, Mark slowly won about $10,000.
There you go.
Every massage
Very, very
Mark's he's a super nice guy. I got to know him better at the World Series, and he's really a class individual.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Did you TiVo the Red Sox game tonight?
Will you stop it? Mo is raised here to, looks like 20. He's got ace-king offsuit.
Can't do it, Mo.
It's not me, it's him.
No, you did that.
Well, Brian's calling here with Queen Deuce.
Queen deuce, and Sergio's got a weak ace.
Not two queens, but two queens.
Got about a $65 pot. King, queen, 7. So Mo's got the top pair.
Push it all in, Mo, so I can quit.
Oh, I can't.
He bets 50.
15.
Is Brian going to make the call here with queen deuce?
It looks like it.
Boy. $160 pot now, and Brian checks blind, Dave. So what information does that tell you? Turns a 4. $160 pot. Mo bets 200
Now
now.
that looks like a bet, like I have an ace king or something like that. I have a pretty good hand that I want to kind of protect. And you'll notice Mo will bet pretty much the same whether he's bluffing or whether he has it. It's hard to put a tell on him.
Mo, I have a real funny feeling if I call this, I'm going to have to call the rest of that, aren't I?
No.
You don't think?
No, because you could always fold on the river.
And don't fear people at 2+2. We will not go vanilla on you.
You have pairs.
Like I said before, as long as I'm on this show will continue to be politically incorrect.
I just don't know what Brian is thinking here. He said if I call this, I might have to call everything on the river.
No. If I let it go,
It's a
Mo,
$360 pot, and it's 200
I'm
to
going to let
call.
it go. I don't want you to show me. I'm going to download it, Mo.
Just seems like Brian thinks that's like a really big laydown.
See that one bad.
Yeah, well, you know what? Mo bluffs enough
Yeah.
that he just gets that, he gets paid off sometimes. You know, what seems like a simple laydown to me and you and people at home watching can be hard sometimes when you're watching a guy bluff and bluff and bluff, and you're like, you wonder if he has anything.
No, earlier on.
I know. I told him I couldn't lay a hand down against him.
Hand down
It's hard. Man, I can lay down a hand against anything. I usually, I can do it against everybody. I just know it makes...
And of course, Dave, I don't know if you've actually, I don't know if you know this, but Jive Dadson is back.
Okay. What did I do?
Thank God.
Did I get it 10
No, seriously. Seriously,
3 times you got
I think we were getting a little bit too close to 2+2.
Yeah,
I was almost feeling cozy with them,
yeah,
and we need some dissension in the ranks.
yeah. 4-way action here, limped around.
Still, I have one friend in this table.
939 here on the flop.
I'm joking. Still, I have one. Why not?
Once again, Sergio betting with nothing.
He said I
Sergio likes to bluff when he has nothing. It's just,
Well, he's pulled it off a couple times, and I think he's going to take it down this time as
well,
well.
how can anybody call this? Take it down, Sergio.
Winning small pots, playing off of the flop. Maybe it didn't hit anybody.
Hey, it's not a bad way to go, especially a flop of 9-9-3. If somebody doesn't have a 9, it's really tough for them to call.
Yeah,
Which one?
Even clubs, it's tough. You know, a paired board.
absolutely.
You have to tell me later, Mo. I paid the $14.95 already. I can download it.
Okay, pay me $7. I give it
Of course, they're talking about the archives on the table, David. And if you want to watch this show and every other show that we've ever done on Live at the Bike, you can click on the archives banner, upper left-hand corner at liveatthebike.com. $14.95 gets you all of the action.
Wow. It's still just $14.95.
Still just $14.95. Boy, we've just
I thought we were going to raise the prices.
thousands of hours on
I mean,
this show.
$14.95, 4 or 5 months ago, almost seemed like, wow, that's a really good deal. But now we're talking about 4 months more
40.
of content. Amazing.
Flop comes Jack high here, Jack 10-10, and Brian bets 40 in position with Ace Jack.
Ken's got trip 10s.
He does. And he's going to check raise.
100 more.
100.
He makes it 100 more, he says, Dave. From the small blind.
Well,
I
if
believe
Brian
the pot
thought-
was limped around pre-flop.
Well, if Brian thought the queen deuce was a tough laydown, what's he going to do about this one?
Yeah. So a $40 bet, and he makes it 140 to go. And what is Brian going to do here? So the pot now is about $220. It's 100 for Brian to call.
Yeah, this is one of those cases you don't really look at odds. You go, does the guy have a 10 or not?
Right.
Because if the guy has a 10, I've got 2 outs.
All right, I'm all in.
And look at this. He moves all in, and Ken quickly calls.
Look
Oh,
at Brian. Brian goes, I'm all in.
Boy.
And he goes, do you have a 10? He goes, yeah.
Dave, we've got like a $900 pot here. He moves all in with ace-jack, and Ken instantly calls. Well, the turn's a 7. Brian's going to need to catch a jack here. And the river's an 8. And just like that, Ken doubles through. And about a $900 pot. Right off the bat, folks. Wow.
Nice hand.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what Brian was thinking there. But when we saw it, he had trouble laying down queen deuce
Right.
to Mo's bet. And that play is just... You bet 40 basically to find out if somebody has a 10.
Right.
You found out he had a 10.
Right. I mean, then you move all in, and it just...
You move all in, you're only going to get called by a 10.
Yep.
I mean, I don't understand the play. God. Come on, Brian.
Well, he's shaking his head like he does not like it, Dave.
Well, he's shaking his head, I think, because he knows it. The second, when he moved in and Ken called that quickly, he even said, you got a 10. And then he nodded his head like, oh, yeah, I knew you had a 10. I just wanted to give you $300, $400.
Yeah, it was more than that.
Man,
460 total.
460. Wow.
That's a good thing. Even if you did, I could have thrown the jack.
Well, again,
Once again,
it was fun to have Jonas in the game last night, and then Mark Safe came in, Ed and Jesus and Ed's friend Frank. Love to have these Mexican poker players in big no limit games, Dave. They really,
They liven it up.
yeah, definitely. Well, Brian's got AC-deucey here. He limps in, and Ken's playing 10-4 again, offsuit on the button.
And if we can keep our Wednesday 25-50 blinds, we might make Jonas a regular again.
Now Sergio's going to raise out of the big blind. He makes it 30 to go. He's got ace-jack, and look at this. Brian makes a frustration call with ace-deuce.
Yep.
Who do you play?
And actually, Sergio's got 10-3 offsuit, excuse me. He raised with 10-3 offsuit from the big blind.
Well, if he continues betting, he should be able to take this one down.
8-8 deuce. Oh, everyone checked, Dave. And this really, and now, here we go. The turn is a jack. We see this time and time again on this show. Now, let's see how this plays out. Paul bets, and he's going to take it down. If you're going to raise with rags, I don't care what position you're in. We see it sometimes, people might try to buy it out, especially with a scary flop. Now, this isn't necessarily scary, but especially if it comes ace high, why not bet and try to take the flop down?
Well, yeah, obviously you've got to read the players. In that case, actually, that's a great board to... We saw earlier he bluffed into a board of 9-9-3.
Right.
That's an 8-8 deuce board.
Right.
If somebody does not have an 8 or an overpair, they're probably not going to call you.
Right. Now, difference, there's two types of boards you can look for there. You can look for a board that probably doesn't hit anybody, like that one, or a scary board,
Right.
which is probably with an ace or king up there.
Yeah, and obviously an ace wouldn't have helped him in that case because both players had an ace.
Right.
Button is in seat 7.
And it's
That's
been limped
Paul.
around.
Limped around, we got 6 players in, sorry. So that's a $30 pot to the flop. Flop is king, 6, deuce, couple of clubs.
And we've got one person with a flush draw, and seat 1's got king jack.
Yeah, Mo's got top pair there, and he bets it.
And Al calls with the flush draw. And I think we're heads up, king jack against 5-8 of clubs. Turns a 5, so Al picks up a pair now. Now Mo bets.
Now how about a little raise here from Al?
Well, Al just calls.
Yep.
I think it was a $60 bet there. So heads up here, Mo against Al. And the river is an 8, and Al backs into 2 pair. And Mo's going to bet again.
I'm hoping Al's going to raise this.
Mo bets again here.
75.
75.
200.
And Al's going to raise to 200. The board, the river is an 8. There we go. And it's just between Al and Mo, and Al quickly mucks.
Mo quickly mucks.
Or Mo quickly
Yeah.
mucks, excuse me.
And you see how much respect Al has there. Mo
Yeah.
doesn't even think about it. I mean, it's not like the 8 of spades completes much. I mean, what do you look at this guy and go, well, what does he have, 7-8?
Right.
7-9? It just doesn't make any sense.
Thank you.
Mo probably doesn't realize exactly what Al has. He just knows he got there. He knows his one pair of kings is no longer good. And if Al makes that move on the turn, he probably takes it down without even hitting 2 pair.
You won't believe what 2 pair, but
Hey, there's Francisco.
Francisco?
Oh, it's Francois, excuse me.
Francois.
You know, undertone Francois.
I've played with him a couple times, actually. But I don't think has he ever played in this game.
Yeah, he has.
He has, okay.
20s.
He's a pretty solid player,
He
actually.
is.
Yeah. Ken is going to raise here with pocket 9s. Button calls here with 10-7 of clubs.
Mo's going to call it 5-6.
So we've got a $60 pot going to the flop. And it comes 7-5-5 and Mo's flop trips, and he checks it.
Let's see if Ken can get away from this overpair here.
$60 pot. And Sergio has top pair. Ken bets. He bets 75. So now he bets big, Dave, when he has something. Into a $60 flop.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He overbets the pot. It's just, if you want to make your bets believable, you've got to bet that when you have ace
And if
jack
Sergio
also.
makes a move like he has been all night, he's in big trouble.
Well, this time he has a hand. He usually only makes a move when he has no hand. This time he actually has top pair. And I was going to say I would have liked Mo to really bet into them. Throw a $60 bet into the flop and see if Ken has to raise it.
And look at this. Sergio is going to raise.
Wow.
He makes it 150. Now,
Raises
if
the
you're
minimum.
Mo with 6-5, how deep is Sergio? How deep is Ken? Is this the hand that you're willing to move all in here with?
150.
It's 150.
Sergio's the one that's got to scare him. He's got to go,
Yeah.
wow, did Sergio hit a set of 7s, or did Sergio have an ace-5?
Right. He obviously could have 4 or 5 too.
Right.
More he has there.
So it's a $75 bet and a raise to 150, which means the pot is about $300 and it's 150 for Mo to call. A little
Yeah,
under
I don't
300.
think Mo's going to lay this down. I think it's a matter of, is he going to call or is he going to raise it here?
Well, there's Sergio's chips. Looks like he's got about 300 left. There's Mo's chips. He's got over 500. And I think Ken might have a few hundred. So that gives you the idea of people's stacks. About a $300 pot, 150 to call. Do you think he's going to try to squeeze Ken? Is that what you're saying? Is that the decision here?
Well, it's a question of, if he were to raise here, and he's going to raise, he's going to move all in.
Yeah, he's going to move it all in.
It's tough for Ken to call this now. Because Ken is in a
Wow,
spot.
Ken is actually really deep. He's got like 1,000 there. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, and Ken is in a spot going, okay, well, I know I can beat one of these guys.
Yeah.
But are they both lying?
He can't call here, can he, Dave?
I think it's an easy laydown when you get a raise and then a re-raise all in.
Let's just say to make it interesting or make it even, Mo has about $1,000. How much is it? Oh, he actually had Dave 600, so it's 440 more. So
440
basically,
more.
we're looking at a pot. I gotta say about $950, and it's
440 to call.
440 for Ken to call. I thought Mo had more than that.
That's right. Open-ended.
$940, 440 back to Ken.
I mean, this is one of those things, yeah, you can manufacture some hands that these guys might have
Yeah.
to get yourself to stay in there. You can go, okay, well, maybe Mo's got 6-8, and maybe this guy's got a 7, an ace-7. But to me, when that kind of play happens, one of these guys has to have a 5.
Well, I mean, you're facing a raise and a check re-raise by Mo.
Yeah. And it's also a matter of, it's not like you just bet $10.
Yeah.
You bet 75,
Right.
and you got raised, and then check re-raised it all. Check raised all in.
And, Mo likes to screw around in small pots sometimes in small games, but he's not going to make this move as a screw-around move.
No, he screws around when he senses weakness.
Right.
And this is clearly not one
Yeah,
of the
and
screw-arounds.
Ken makes the correct way
That's a
down.
good laydown by Ken.
Yeah, 1,000.
And I got to be honest, I think Mo misplayed the hand.
Well, let me give you the. How about coming from the other side? How about this? Now, I normally like to bet out on trips also, Dave. But could you even think a couple steps in where you think that this guy's going to lead in with a bet, and Sergio's just been racing this guy all night? So I'm thinking it's going to be a bet and a race. I can't necessarily count on that, but it's been happening all night.
Well, and Sergio called.
Oh, wow, he makes the call. The turn is an ace.
I can't believe he called.
He needs to spike a 7 here, and the river is an ace. And Mo takes it down. Looked like Sergio had another 400 there.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. How do you call that with top pair and only 10 kicker?
Wow.
You know, if you're actually going to call a raise with 10-7 of clubs, that's not the flop you're looking for.
Yeah, and there's a difference between mixing it up and raising and calling your all-ins. But you see what I'm saying there, Dave? If you've got something where maybe two people have been going back and forth, and, well, you think that if this guy bets, who's the pre-flop raiser, the other guy right to his left is going to come over the top of him because he's been doing it all night. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how you can actually see all that. You know, I understand what you're saying. It's kind of a far-fetched. It's going, okay, well, this guy's definitely going to bet. This guy's definitely going to raise, so I can check raise all in. I mean, it worked out great for him. Obviously, he's still got a lot of money. Look at that, the close-up. Nice close-up for Shirley.
Yeah.
Generally, I don't like our card camera view of people, but Shirley actually looks really good.
The nostril shot?
But just to play devil's advocate, and obviously I'm huge respect for Mo's game. But if Mo bets into Ken, and he bets $60 into Ken, well then what's Ken going to do? Ken's probably going to check raise him, right? It's probably 150 or something like that. And then Sergio's there. Now, Sergio called anyway, so you might get Sergio's money in there anyway, and then Mo can move all in.
Pot is limped around here, and Mo's going to lead out here. He's in the blind with ace-6. He bets 25. Now, Sergio's got ace-9. How much has he bought in for? Sergio's in for 300, Dave, and Sergio calls. He bought into the minimum. He's got chips coming. He makes the call, and Mo is in kicker trouble right now. So, he's got about a $75 pot.
175.
Thank you.
Turn is an 8.
And the 9 is going to play. Mo needs a 6, and only a 6.
And he bets again.
I'm sorry, Mo. He had
175.
He's going to put him all in there, Dave, I think. He's going to put Sergio all in. He bets 175, which is the remaining amount which Sergio has.
Yeah, I think Mo was thinking Sergio might be tilting here.
175. Yeah,
Hey, look at that. Sergio lays the hand down.
Wow.
So he makes a bad call, and then he just makes a laydown. I'm not going to say it's a bad laydown, but he actually had the best hand.
Well, it's a bad laydown then. The river's a 5. Wouldn't have changed anything. And Sergio would have won the hands.
Yeah, I'm going there.
Oh, you don't want to let it stay.
No, I'm going there. Yeah,
Sorry, folks. We're just dealing with some funny stuff in the booth.
And back to that previous hand there with Mo. Obviously, we are privy to the hands and we see what these guys have, so it's easier. But I don't know. You and I like to sometimes, if I hit my trips, I like to bet them.
No, absolutely.
And I hope that the other player has aces or kings.
Absolutely.
Or an overpair.
But I can't go so far, Dave, just to say it's a bad laydown just because I have the best hand. I mean, everyone lays down the best hand.
No,
You
no,
get put in
clearly.
a situation where
No, obviously,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
ace, queen, 10 here, a couple spades. Pot was limped around. Looks like Shirley's got a flush draw over there in the blind. Gets checked around. The turn is another 10. And she bets.
15.
15 here, Dave, which is a little under the size of the pot. Represent the 10 there with her draw. And she takes it down.
Takes down. Nice bet there.
Yeah.
A nice bet with the draw. Actually, she didn't have a draw.
She has a flush draw.
Oh, right. Thank you.
And she made it on the river. She made it on the river.
Edgar.
So Shirley, we haven't heard much from her tonight. Takes it down there when the board pairs. That's a good shot. The lovely poker babe. Seat 9's got king, queen suited. King, queen of hearts.
I guess the only reason I was kind of harping on that it was a bad laydown is I just don't understand how you can call an all-in with a pair of 7s and a 10 kicker, and then you lay down when you have top pair.
Right.
With a medium kicker.
We got a raise here by seat 7. He's got ace 9. That's Paul.
Paul Dworkin.
And he's going to get called in a bunch of different spots here.
Yeah, wow, we got a $90 pot now.
Yep, 6-way action. King 10-6, rainbow. No one has a king here, Dave. No one has a 10.
Actually, Nadiv, I missed it as well.
Excuse me, Nadiv's got the king queen.
75.
And he bets 75. He looks a little like Carlos Mortensen, doesn't he?
What guy's name would be Kate?
So he's going to bet a little under the size of the pot.
Well, if he's Carlos, where's Cecilia?
That's what I saw Keith, so I figured he's going to 1,000.
Dave, actually the WPT is going to run one of the episodes that I emceed here on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Ladies Night 3.
Wow.
This upcoming Wednesday. Yep,
Well, I got to set my TiVo to that one.
absolutely. Do you have TiVo?
No. I don't.
Mental TiVo?
My mental TiVo, exactly. I should get TiVo, but I don't.
Oh,
I don't have it.
TiVo's just changed my life.
Starts.
I was actually thinking just the other night. I actually bought the Corrales Castillo fight, pay-per-view fight
Yeah.
on Saturday, and I missed about the first 5 rounds of one of the undercard fights because I had to run over to Whole Foods and pick up some lamb
Oh,
chops.
live pause, baby, live pause.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. I would have loved to.
Seat 9 has brought this one in here for 25. He's got ace-8 offsuit, and he's going to get 4 callers. So we've got a $125 pot here.
Wow. And nobody's really got anything.
Not really. Now, he is in position. Nadiv is in position. The flop comes out 8 high, 8, 6,
Wow.
5. And look at Sergio's hand, a pair and a straight flush draw in seat 8.
That's a monster flop.
If I come in,
Wow.
And he bets. He bets 25 into a $125 pot.
Well, I said, well, it either represents strength.
And Nadiv is going to raise here.
He's got top pair.
Yep. He's going to make it 75. And let's see if Sergio moves over the top. He doesn't have much.
Yeah, I want to say Sergio is actually a favorite right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Because any 5, any
yeah.
7, any 5, 7, 9, 4,
I think
or
he's
heart.
actually a bigger favorite than you might think.
I would
Two
imagine.
cards to come, I think it's about 58-42 here. But he just calls. The turn's a queen.
Well, now he's no longer a favorite.
No. And it goes check, check.
Yeah, but that's not.
And the river is an ace. And Sergio misses everything.
Wow.
Open-ended, straight draw, flush draw, straight flush draw, pair.
2 pair, right? All these.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I want to say what he had 2 5s, 3 7s.
Sergio checks, and Nadiv moves all in now. He moves all in with the
He
ace
takes
9.
it.
Yeah, takes it down. I was a little surprised that maybe... I mean, you want to get 2 cards for yourself. I guess if you move all in with 5, 7 hearts and you don't think your hand is best, it's not really a semi-bluff.
Yeah.
But
Well,
at
no-
that point, I'm favored. So why don't I just get my chips in when I'm favored, right?
Yeah,
it's
no,
kind of the
definitely. Well,
opposite.
Nadiv actually gave him a 40 card. He didn't bet the turn anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, say Nadiv was just making that bet with an ace-king. Say 20% of the time, he's going to fold it because he has nothing. Do you see what I mean to my check raise? Plus, I'm favored. So I think it makes check raising on the
He's
flop.
actually, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think he has 20 outs.
Yeah.
Right? 3 7s, 2 5s, 6 straight draws, 6 4s and 9s, and then 9 hearts. We're talking about, we're talking 20 outs. He's probably over even 60%, I would say. Just didn't hit it that time.
Check and push all in.
Queen Jack 5 here on the flop. It was limped around. So you think it was definitely a push in on the flop?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it actually worked out right for him. I mean, I would have liked to see him push it in, but
Yeah.
obviously it worked out right because he just made a small little call and then
Now look at this. Shirley's leading out here.
and got away from it.
She bets 25. It's a stone cold bluff.
That was open-ended.
Yeah, Mo's got an open-ended straight draw. And he's going to call. Now, Shirley just going to shut down here. She's taking one shot. She's in position. Turns a jack. Mo checks. Oh, I think Shirley's going to give up here. And the river's a 3. Now, Mo doesn't have a made hand. And look at this. Mo mucks it. Mo mucks his hand. I don't even know if Shirley had to bet there.
No,
Mo just mucked. So if you're a woman at the poker table, do you command this type of respect? Now I'm seeing, I understand a little bit. I've never seen Mo do this before to anyone.
Why bluff twice at it? You don't need to bluff.
Yeah, Mo just mucked his hand on the river.
That was really odd.
I mean, Shirley says, like, you know, there are obvious advantages to being a pretty lady at the poker table.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess you're looking at it going, well, I have king 10. There's no way she's on a draw. But she very easily could have had 9-10 there and been open-ended also.
25.
Got a raise here by Mo. He's got ace-jack off suit.
Heads up.
Heads up, ace-jack against Sergio against king 7. Now, Sergio's got a gut shot, but Mo is in position. And Mo actually didn't bet the flop in position.
Well, now Sergio's picked up a flush draw.
And it goes check, check again, and now he's made the clubs. He's got 7 of clubs, but it's only the 7. I mean, was Mo, like, was he a little busy? I mean, usually he'll bet a flop heads up, right? In position.
And now he's going to pay off.
And look at this, he makes the call. Wow, that's a little strange.
Oh, yeah. I thought.
Yeah, that handout played out really weird. I think he
my
thought...
jack is club.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he thought his jack was a club. That's what he's saying.
Oh, yeah, that's time.
He said he thought his jack was a club.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, it was just...
Okay.
The hand made no sense otherwise.
Yeah. Mo's saying he's going to play one more hand. Francois is going to come into the game.
Who's coming in?
Francois.
Francois.
Undertone Francois.
Undertone.
Straddle and raise. Straddle and raise.
Please don't have what I think I'm going to have because I don't want to have it.
Straddle and raise.
And Mo's going to play the last one with straddle. And he's got 8-3 in the straddle spot.
Oh.
I've never seen Mo actually not bet heads up there in position.
Yeah, it's an odd play.
Yeah. Shirley's got jack 9 of hearts. She mucks.
You know, and he let Sergio get there.
It's a perfect $10 hand right here, and I know he'll do it.
I think I know what you have.
Raise?
Sergio's going to have... Mo's going to raise. This is where he loves to do it. He senses some weakness.
Well, it's just limped around.
Yeah.
In the blinds,
It's not
dude.
out there already. Yeah, he stuck it out there, goes straddling right.
He makes it 100 to go.
If you guys call, this is on the club.
Now, Sergio's got pocket 5. He's got about 150 there.
And Mo said something. Mo said if you guys call...
Man, don't jump out of your seat. Jeez Louise, what you got over there? Maybe I'll just do it now so you don't have to put anything on.
Well,
That's it.
this is kind of, an interesting restricted buy-in question here, Dave. He's got 150 left. Mo could be making this move with any 2 cards. He limped in the small blind with pocket 5s, which I thought was a bit unusual anyways.
Oh, no.
Well, he calls. I mean, how much money does he have left there? I thought it would be pretty much, well, maybe if I have the best hand, I'll push.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
He's got less than 100 left, so obviously he's going to... Mo bets blind here. King 10.
No, I look at my card.
I mean, is he going to fold now, Sergio?
No, I
So
look
like
at-
$80?
I mean, when you called, I look at my card.
I mean, the pot, yeah, it's like it's basically he's got 80 left, and Mo's put them all in here.
Was he calling the 100 just to hit a set?
It doesn't make any sense. So it's about a $280 pot, 80 to call.
And that's not that bad a flop for Sergio.
I told him.
Look at that, he mucks it. Boy, is that strange. Wow. And Mo takes again. I thought Sergio might play it like, I'm going to go with this pair. I'm limping in the small blind, and Mo, if you raise, my chips are going in with 5s. Gamble it up a little bit when you're at that low level of restricted buying.
You're either going to move in. If you're playing
Yeah.
a tournament, you're either moving in or you're folding.
Right.
To me, though, I don't like calling with pocket 5s, ever.
No.
Just because...
No, but I'm saying it's kind of, as opposed to raising there in the small blind, let Mo do the raising in the straddle spot. Because you just feel like it's his last hand. He's going to do it anyways.
Right. But the problem is, though, is even if he has, 7 jack.
Right,
You know,
it's
you're
going to be
picking-
like a kind of a race situation. But in that case, it wasn't a race.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
8-3.
The rare situation that he
Right.
actually had an undercard.
Right.
Oh, I got a pair I could.
That's why I got out of the way.
And there's a question on 2+2 wondering what Jesus actually does for a living. And due to regulatory restrictions, I can no longer say what he does.
play more.
I thought Mo left.
It is evil twins here.
Francois is going to raise it here. He's got ace king, steps into the game. And look at this, Brian's going to call him with 9-6 offsuit. Francois in early position. He bets 60 now.
60.
Into about, say, an $85 pot. Brian has middle pair, Dave. Remember, it was difficult for him to get away from it before.
Yeah, he's got the best hand here, but how does he know that?
And he looks like he's going to call.
Okay, mental note, don't bluff Brian.
Yep. Turns a 5. Francois checks, and Brian checks right behind him. And the river is a king. Brian missed the bet there on the turn.
Yeah. You think?
And it goes check, check now, and Francois is going to take it down with ace king. So Button is now in seat 9. Ace 8 over there on Button. Sergio limps in here in seat 8. Sergio's got 10-5 offsuit.
Well played.
And a limp with an ace on the button. We've got 4-way action. 9-7-5, couple of spades. Al's got a flush draw in seat 2.
25.
But Sergio's got top and bottom pair.
Yep. Francois bets out here with, I believe, a 5.
And Al's got the flush draw, you said?
Yep. And Sergio's going to move all in. Looks like for maybe 85.
He's all in? How much more is it?
So now it's a math problem here for Al.
Exactly.
55.
Well, you got to start thinking and go,
Yeah.
okay, I have 10-4 spades.
Yeah.
Does
And he
the guy
calls.
have one pair? Does he have a 9?
He
Does
calls.
have a draw?
He's going to see 2 cards. Turn is a queen.
And he's going to need a spade, and only a spade.
And there it is. The river is the 6 of spades, and he makes the flush. And
Hasn't been Sergio's night, huh?
nope. Al takes it down.
Some nights it goes like that. You know, you just make the wrong laydowns, you make the wrong calls.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about? 30% land out there?
You're still harping on this?
I'm just actually I haven't gotten a chance to check my PM box yet, so
Oh, there you go.
don't jump to it yet.
I've been there.
Yeah,
How much you
So
pay?
tap me and I'll feel like...
I mean, to be honest with you, since Empire has left Party Poker, or
Right.
Party Poker is, you know, basically jettisoned off Empire, I have not played online since then.
Yeah. Put them closer to yours.
And it'll probably take me a week or two before I get settled in and decide where I want to play.
I know, it's like... I got a long leg. What do I say? Cut them.
Maybe I'll just go to PokerStars.
100.
Make them short. Run it away.
We've got looks like.
But hey, I hear the
months
games are
around.
great at Poker Blue.
Yes, they are.
Where the fuck is the check raises? I don't know how you're gonna check raises.
We got 6-way action here. Jack 8-3.
Tell me how to do that, check.
Paul's open-ended.
I'm gonna
The
check
backdoor
it.
flush draw.
Sergio's got a top pair.
50.
That was his idea.
And seat 7 there, Paul is going to bet with the open ender.
His evil twin.
And did Sergio just get away from the Jack 7 right away?
Yeah.
He's a nice side. I'm the evil side.
Well, this table's tightened up quite a bit.
Well, he just makes, Sergio just makes it the really oddest plays. He calls with hands I don't understand. He calls with pocket 5s. He calls with a pair of 7s, right? Then he
Yeah.
lays down an ace and he lays down top pair here. It's just,
Can we drink right at the bunker? Encourage it.
you know what the guy Paul looks like? Have you ever seen O?
Put my comment to work. I don't think
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't.
You know the really, really tall guy with the arched back? You haven't seen it.
Yes, I do.
But that guy in O. The really, really tall guy with like an arched back who's kind of like the I don't know what part he plays in Ode, but he's one of the leads in it, obviously. And he looks like him. I mean, the way his back is kind of curled over.
I hope this table doesn't get too tight passive here, Dave. Lineup. Got an ace-jack in here. Limped around. Limp, limp, limp.
Well, if the game's real passive, Francois will take advantage of that.
Will he? We've got four-way action here. 6-6-3, couple clubs. No one has anything. Russ has the best hand. Now, Russ had pocket fours there. Would you bet out in that flop there, Dave? Turn is a 10. Now he's going to bet. Another overcard.
Yeah, he usually
falls.
waits a little. And you see the difference there. Like, Shirley likes to bet right away when
Right.
she thinks her hand is the best, or if she has a good draw. See where she's at. Russ kind of waits for it, and now the 10 could have hit somebody.
Oh, he's going to take it down.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, the 10 didn't hit anybody.
Tony. Tony. You okay?
It's like we're having a little trouble with the shuffle machine. Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, it's fixed. There we go.
And I like the quote from Barry Woods there. He's actually put up a 2+2 post. I will not repeat it, but I agree with it.
Got a $15 raise here, seat 9. Jack 8 of clubs. We got a couple callers.
Wow.
7-6-10.
We got 2 pair. We got a
Yeah, and Nadeem is going to bet here. And
he's got a gut shot.
yeah, Brian, he checked it up from up front. Is he going to check raise?
100 more.
He makes it 100. Actually, Ken was the better, excuse me. Bet 15. Nadeem called, and Brian is check raised to 100. Bottom 2 pair.
Yeah, and if you're wondering about tells, people are always, like I keep saying, the best tells are, and he's going to take it down with the check raise there.
Yep.
The best tells are betting patterns. And if you notice, you watch this game, and you watch almost any game, but this game right here, almost every single time somebody check raises, they've got a pretty strong hand. You know, a really strong hand, actually. Either 2 pair, a set, you know, whatever it might be. And those are the things to look for in tells.
Thank you.
You know, mental note, if somebody check raises me and I don't have a really, really strong hand, fold.
Looks like we got a dealer change there. Ben is coming into the box. So that hand was 7-5 of hearts against ace-8. 7-5 was a 2-1 favorite on the hand. Dave.
I was going to say,
But
yeah, I
much
mean, it
bigger.
had 20 outs.
Yeah. I thought it was more like 58-42, but it was higher than that.
Obviously, you're doing it off the top of your head.
Yeah.
We'll take you out back and flog you later.
And I got the 2 other rocks on the table. One guy had pocket coins, just low point, another guy had a pilot.
Ben's one of my favorite dealers, Dave.
She's actually, besides the fact that she's really cute, she happens to be an excellent dealer.
Yeah, she is. Al is going to raise here. He's got ace-queen offsuit. It makes it 35 to go. See, Brian's going to get involved with ace-8 of clubs. He does. We're heads up. Ace-queen against ace-8.
Let's see what Al does here if he misses the flop. The button is in seat 5, I want to say?
Yeah, Brian has position.
Okay. See if he can use his position to outplay him.
6-4 deuce. He checks. But look at this. Brian checks right behind him. Turn is a jack. And now Al's going to bet 60. And Brian folds.
I mean, call me crazy, okay? Obviously, we're seeing Al's hand. But even if you weren't seeing Al's hand, didn't he play it like he had ace-queen, ace-king, ace-jack? I mean, if he had pocket 9s, do you think he checks that flop? There's just
You
no
wouldn't
way.
think so.
Yeah, there's
Especially
no way.
Al. He's pretty straightforward. He's not
Right.
going to try to,
There's just no
mix it
way.
up like that. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy was funny. I'm trying to be.
He was funny. You're not funny.
Well, I'm trying.
You stop. It's not working. I should have.
Man, why are you embarrassing me live on TV in front of millions of people?
Button here is in seat number 6.
Hey, a little note. Last night's tournament, we had Poker October last night. Yesterday's tournament was a $300 No limit hold'em tournament with one optional rebuy. And Diablo actually came in, I want to say, 8th place or 7th place yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Diablo from Omega Plumbing, huh?
Yep.
And tonight's event was a $500 limit tournament, Dave.
Limit hold'em?
Yeah. Good old limit hold'em.
Limit hold'em $500. That's not a bad format either because they're giving 10 times the amount of the buy-in in chips. So they actually give everybody 5,000 chips.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what I like limit hold'em tournaments. I've actually had most of my success in limit hold'em tournaments, and you know, and I might call me crazy, but it might be because there's so much no limit out there that people just hop in and try to play every tournament, and they don't really know how to properly play limit hold'em.
Oh,
Some of these no limit hold'em tournaments.
Definitely. Well, you see a lot of players in the limit hold'em tournaments. You see a lot of guys. They're used to having to call 3 times the bet.
Right.
In the big blind. They're going, oh, wait a second, it's only one extra bet?
Right,
Sure.
right.
And they end up calling everything in the big blind.
Right.
Which obviously is making you go broke very quickly.
I mean, obviously, tight aggressive is the best style, you know, no matter what form of poker you're in, but especially tight in limit tournaments, I think is a good way of playing it.
In limit tournaments?
In limit
In the
tournaments.
early going, obviously you've
Yeah.
got to mix it up. You've got to, gauge your play on how long the rounds are and how
Right,
many
right.
chips you have and so forth.
I'm not much older than you.
You got a raise there by Brian, Jack 10 offsuit, Nadiv calls. I think it was about $30 pre-flop, $60 pot. 8, 9, 10.
Oh, a nice flop for Brian.
Yep, top pair, open-ended straight draw. He bets, and he's going to take it down.
And pretty
Game is kind
straightforward.
of slow, kind of moved towards like kind of that little tight passive now.
Yeah, real straightforward.
Yeah.
Bet when you got it, check when you don't.
I did it one time. That guy did for 5.
You know, and John Hong entered the game last night too, but he didn't really mix it up.
No.
Yeah. Last night, of course,
It's
we
a
played.
little bit higher stakes than he normally likes to play, I think.
Last night we played $5,000 max buy-in, 25.50 blinds. And he was actually the one that was complaining about the max buy-in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know Jonas doesn't like the max buy-in either.
Right.
I know he'd rather buy in for 20,000.
I think a bit.
I'm not very smart, Francois.
I, for one, would love to get rid of the restriction as well.
I do. I swear to God. I swear to God.
I don't mind if we maybe cap it at 25,000,
Yeah.
but I think keeping it at 5,000 is somewhat silly.
I don't lie. Check my flush draw.
Ace Queen 5 here. Pot was limped around all hearts. Got a weak ace over there in seat 5.
Yeah, but he's got a monster flush draw too.
Now look at this. Russ is going to bet here. You know, sometimes I say a lot to bet into a 3 flush with an ace out there, Dave. Very difficult for anybody to call
And
without the king of hearts or without an ace and a good kicker.
I don't think anybody can call this.
Yeah, and Brian mugged the ace deuce.
Well, he can't see the pot. He's gonna call anyways. Okay, you know what? I have a draw. I told you to check my flush draw. Why are you being mean to me?
I had a deuce high flush draw.
And there you go.
And Russ shows it.
Yeah, he says I'm a dick and I'm tired of waiting around. I think
You
he
know what?
said.
Don't do that again. I told you I have the
Again, it's very difficult to and folks, he said that. I'm not saying that. Paraphrase. He said it at the table.
Diamond, and I had a 2 of hearts. Damn flush comes.
Send me
I
five.
had a 2 of hearts.
You know, when you bet out there with a 3 flush
Every flush is.
and an ace on board. Very
Why show it,
difficult.
though?
Yeah, I know. He's been showing a lot of
I mean,
cards.
why show you? He
Yeah.
shows it when he flops a full house. He shows it when he bluffs. He shows it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a good player, it wouldn't take very long to figure out. Okay, I know this how this guy
Pocket
plays.
deuces against pocket aces. The guy was like such a chicken to bet his pocket aces.
Shirley's
He
gonna
checked- he-
raise to
he
20
called
here,
the
dude.
flop. No, he
Pocket 5.
checked the flop.
This is the kind of table where it's great that mini raise in late position.
Yeah.
And Shirley takes it down. And once again, I just want to let everybody know, all our loyal listeners and fans, do not fear. We are not going to change the show and suddenly make it, vanilla. It will stay politically incorrect.
I think it was just that one Friday night, Dave. where
Just
we were
that
having a
one
little
Friday
bit of
night,
fun.
just that one word.
Yeah.
Quads?
Yeah, there we go. I like what Isaac said there. Instead of politically incorrect, it'll be politely incorrect.
Well, Al's got pocket kings here. He's in the small blind. Seat 2.
He stood up and was like, no. Uh-oh, I'm going to call you with it.
And Brian is going to bring it in for a raise with Doyle Brunson, Dave. 10 deuce of diamonds. Let's see how Al plays it. Very straightforward. You're going to re-raise here.
Russ, are you calling?
I raise.
Don't raise a bunch. Just a little bit. No call.
And Al's going to re-raise, Dave.
So you got to be honest, your head's up already, right? He was in the big blind?
Yeah. No, he was under the gun.
I might have to call.
Oh, so he limped, the old limp re-raise.
No, he brought it, Brian brought it in for a raise, and Al is now re-raising
Right, Al's position is where, though?
in the small blind.
Right.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous.
It's not a terrible spot to just smooth call.
But how about Brian calling the re-raise here? How much was the re-raise for there?
Is that right?
That's why I got lucky.
Did you win it?
Wow, and that looks like $80.
Wow.
80 bucks.
So deuce 10 calls the re-raise.
No, I thought you got one.
Yeah, I don't mind messing around with like a hand like deuce 3, like Shirley did before, or deuce 10. But if somebody re-raises you,
And it's Al in the blind, and he flops a set of kings.
You know how the when
Now, I've actually seen Al slow play monsters before. Let's see how
well,
he
most
does.
players, he's like most guys, they slow play their big hands, they're passive.
He's going to bet 100. And look at this. Brian makes the call with 10 deuce. Oh, my. $280 pot. The turn is an ace. And Al checks. And Brian checks right behind
But I
him.
wouldn't have played his card because I had the last.
And the river's a 10. And Brian's made 2 pair here, Dave.
Oh,
10s and deuces.
And he pushed on.
I got to be honest, Brian deserves to go broke.
And Al bets 100. Brian moves all in. And Al calls. And quickly, that pot is about $800. Oh, my. That's incredible.
Yeah, Brian started the show with $1,100.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not sure how he won the $1,100.
But he's going right back into his wallet.
Oh, man.
He makes the call with bottom pair. Al checks it, maybe trying to, get a bet in there with the ace, saying I'm scared of the ace. And the guy makes 2 pair on the river.
Yeah.
And Al gets paid off all in for about an $800 pot.
You know
Wow.
what? When you call an $80 raise with 10 deuce of diamonds, and then you call a $100 bet on the flop,
Yeah.
don't you kind of deserve this?
Yep.
Yeah, careful.
And I don't know if this is updated from the last hand here.
500 behind, guys.
So I think Al has moved up to about 1,200. Brian is broke, but he's probably going to rebuy for like 500. Dave.
Exactly.
So Al is in the lead here with 1,200. Wow.
That's another day in the life.
And of all the players, see, there are some players I give action to, but I'm not going to give action to Al.
Yeah.
But once again, he gets paid off, and as long as he's getting paid off, why would he change your style?
And I think he showed the 10 deuce down, Dave, and that's just going to be like to people like Shirley and some of the other better players at the table. I mean, you got to be thinking, wow. I mean, this guy's a target. He's got a big target on his head,
Well, I mean, he lost all his money. The flop came out Jack 10-10 before. He had Ace Jack,
Yeah.
and he goes broke on the hand. I mean,
Right.
No problem,
Francois
sir.
raised here to 30. Nadiv called and Sergio called.
yeah, and Francois in position.
Well, Sergio's flopped the nut flush draw, but Francois got the ace 9. He's going to bet 40 into a $90 pot.
And this is one of those cases where Sergio's got the nut flush draw, but his ace is not good.
He doesn't have any chips, Dave, and,
Oh.
and he's going to check raise the rest all in.
40? You didn't raise it? Yeah, 40. Who, me? No, him.
Actually, I think he only has 40 there, Dave.
Well, there you go.
I know.
Well, the pot was $90, so now the pot's $150.
I didn't count it right.
I'm sorry, $170.
170.
And
heart,
Sergio
no
needs a diamond.
Yeah. Francois' favorite
If you have a
here.
queen, you win.
Oh, yeah.
Turn is a jack, and the river's a 6. Ace 9 is good. I don't understand why all these people turn over their hands. It's just...
Well, he had to turn his hand over there to win.
No. Sergio turned his hand over.
Oh, showing what he
Yeah,
missed.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, in that case, obviously, he only had 9 outs, or some sort of runner like deuce-deuce. And obviously was not a favorite in that hand.
Yeah, come on, man.
Once again, we are live at the bike here. I'm David Tuckman, here with Bart Hansen. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5.
5 and 5 blinds. Actually, I don't even know if we mentioned that tonight.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just assume our loyal listeners know, but 5 and 5 blinds.
Button is in seat 3.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, this is my favorite game here. I've said it time and time and again. I think it's the best game in town. Because there's a casino across the street here that spreads a $400 max buy-in game. with 5-10 blinds.
Yeah, which is obviously the blinds are too high
Yeah.
for the Irish.
Look at this. Shirley has flopped a straight. Deuce 3-6. Let's see if she bets it. She's going to bet it from out from here, 20. Now, Brian's got King 3, but he's not going to get involved with Shirley. Really interesting.
Oh, too much respect.
I got to go back to another hand, too. If people have been watching the hands from the beginning
And
of
look
the
at
show.
this. Shirley does not show.
Well,
I love that.
Let me ask you a question, Dave. People have been watching this webcast from the beginning of tonight's show. Do you remember, I think it was either the second or the third hand of the night, when Shirley led out with an 8-9 and a 9-high flop limped around, and Brian mucked 9-10. But we've seen him call off chips with ace-jack and 10-deuce. Is it just that he's being nice to Shirley? Or he's got a lot of respect for her? Because it's not consistent with his play.
I don't know. All I know is I'm going to get a blonde wig and some fake boobs.
Hey, you know what? Don't
Forget
blame-
poker
blame
books.
yourself
Yeah.
on
Forget the archives. Blonde wig
We're going
and
to
fake
dress you up.
boobs.
Never blame me. I have position
Man.
over you. I can dress you up. Or I can get straight.
We have four-way action here.
Although I'll say it's tough for her to get any action, though, huh?
Yeah.
Look at this.
I think we had a raise there by
you
Nadeem
have
for the
any piece of
ace-7
it, bet it.
offsuit.
I gotta wait till it's on me.
I think it's jack. How much? Okay, too much.
Nadiva's bet 50 here. And Brian's going to call Dave with pocket threes.
Yeah, I mean,
But he mucked King 3, last hand.
like it was nothing.
And Ken calls with the ace-8. Ken has got the best hand here with second pair. Pot's about $200 now. Turn to jack. Brian checks.
Ken, we heard a lot from Ken earlier in the webcast. He's been kind of quiet since.
He checks. And Nadiv now, I believe, he's going to bet $100. So he's going to continue to bet. He now has a gut shot. If he hits a 10, he has a straight.
Yeah, he needs a 10 or an ace, obviously, but I think he's going to rate it right here.
Yeah, he wins it. Takes it down. Good
Good
aggressive,
aggressive play. Jenks, you owe me a beer. Remember that?
Well, I mean, if it was rainbow, I might.
Actually, Shirley's talking. Maybe she did show the hand. She's talking to the gentleman next to her, Dave, about the hand.
Yeah, she didn't actually show it. She might have told him after the fact what she had.
You might have hit the jack.
Got an email here from Manuel Figueroa. He says, how often do professional poker players stop by and play at these sessions on Live at the Bike? I gotta tell you, Dave, almost every single night.
Yeah, almost every single night.
I mean, and the other thing, too, is that people might not know that there are always professionals on the table. And what I mean by professional is Al is a cash game professional. This is what he does. He plays cash games. Now, you might not recognize him because he doesn't play a lot of tournaments.
Right.
But you do recognize a lot of people that play on the show anyways.
Jonas last night. Jonas
Oh,
never
God.
plays tournaments.
Yeah.
Ever.
Last
He's a
night we had
professional poker
Mark
player.
Safe on the show. We've had professionals on tons of times. We had James Woods last week with a bunch of professionals. Wednesdays and Fridays were filled with professionals.
It's actually a
People
rare
that you would
night.
recognize.
Yeah, it's a rare
Yeah.
night that we don't have a professional poker player.
Yeah. 8-6 deuce here.
15.
Wanna see what happens?
I want to say Brian is the best hand here.
Yeah, looks like Al led out here with the deuce, and Brian called. Turns an ace. Al bets 15 again here. And I think Brian called. And the river is a 3. And he's going to bet 15 here again. Well, that's not going to do it, Al.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. I don't know.
Now, is he betting 15 to make it a value bet at the end?
I don't know.
Because obviously, if the guy has a 6 or an 8, you're not going to get him up the hand.
I think that Al, I think he definitely misplayed that hand. Now, that's a very small hand, but like you said,
Well, that's $45 he threw away.
I mean, what are you betting for on the river? There's no way that your hand can beat anything there with that kicker. You got bottom pair.
Unless it's some sort of a blocker bet and you want to get a free showdown. But I don't.
But what could the guy possibly have called with on the flop and on the
Yeah,
turn?
what's he going to call you with king high?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you can beat is king high, right? With a deuce 5.
You want to buy the bun?
Yeah, I don't understand the play. And obviously, if the guy has a 6, if the guy has a 6 or an 8, you're not going to win the hand. I mean, the only thing you can pretty much beat is like, let's say 7-9 comes out. I want to say if the guy had 7-9, had an open-ended straight draw, and he doesn't want to call you with 9 high.
Yeah. Ace queen here for Sergio. Now Sergio, and actually Brian has ace queen as well. Now Sergio, he must have rebought, right? So how much does he got there in seed 8? He had 300 more, Dave, so he went for the minimum again. Brian's going to raise.
Yeah, Brian rebought for the max. He bought him for 500.
He makes it 45 to go. Ace queen suited.
Every time you have a problem, you
Or
say
50,
change machine.
45.
It's 45.
Yeah, let's see
That's
if-
his, and that's ours.
You never heard nobody say change machine, right?
I don't like calling ace queen out of position, to be honest with you, especially ace queen offsuit.
Sergio, you're in the small
Change
one.
machine is
Yeah,
not
it's
funny.
such a tough hand to play out of position.
You're hilarious.
You know what? Just give me
Well, he
one
makes
more
the
or
call.
two more glasses of wine, I'll be dancing on the table.
Now Shirley's got a king jack. Now she should know not to call here, right? Believe she limped in. She immediately mucks. She limped in a raise and a call from the blind.
Yeah.
You're in big trouble. She also already had live cards. And Al mucks 6-7 of hearts.
See, that would have been better.
Yeah,
6-7 of hearts.
And here comes the flop. 8-7 deuce, couple of hearts. And it goes check, check.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad play to muck 6-7 of hearts. I mean, obviously, hindsight being 20/20.
Turn is a 6. He would have made 2 pair and a flush draw here. Goes check, check again, and the river's a 4. And is anybody going to bet, or they're just going to chop it up?
Chop it up.
Suited, I'm better.
Chop it up.
You want to take a shot at it? Take a shot, you win.
But 6-7 of hearts there, I would sooner call a raise with 6-7 of hearts than I would with king jack offsuit. And I think Shirley would as well. Once again, let's go through the players really quick. In seat 1 now, we've got Francois. In seat 2, we've got Al still. Seat 3, we've got Hollywood Rose. Seat 4, Shirley Rosario. Seat 5, we've got Brian Campbell. Started the show with about $1,100, and he's already into his second rebuy, so he's down about $1,200 now. Seat 6 is Ken. Seat 7 is Paul Dworkin. Seat 8 is Sergio Myers, and seat 9, I want to say, is Josh Macchiello. Or actually, no, that's Nadiv. I'm sorry. And there he is.
20.
And we get a raise out of Paul there, seat 7 with ace king. He's got big slick offsuit. And well, and this is out here. Al's going to call it 6s, okay? And Brian's going to call it ace 3 offsuit. And let's see if Brian gets himself in trouble here. The flop is ace king 5. Paul's flop 2 pair.
Your turn.
Check. 25.
I mean, you can bring it. But extra.
Paul's going to bet $25 into about a $60 pot. Let's see what Brian does here. He's got top pair, no kicker. And he calls.
Football.
Once again, calling a range with ace 3 offsuit. Get yourself in trouble. And he's picked up a real draw.
There you go. That's it. And here.
And Paul's going to bet again. It looks like 50 this time. Pot is 110 now.
If you mess it up,
Pot is now $210. To the river.
see, I'm funny.
Brian needs a deuce or a 3. And that's not going to do it. 9 of hearts on the river.
Cocktail.
Let's see if Paul moves all in. I think he should. He's shaking his head like he doesn't like the heart, but that's backdoor hearts. You really can't be scared of that. Maybe he's shaking his head as an act. There you go. And he bets 45, and Brian calls. And just like that, a $300 pot, $150 that Brian loses with ace 3 offsuit.
I had to do.
And that's what happens sometimes. You call with some inferior hands. We saw earlier he called a 10 deuce of diamonds, got himself stuck.
Well, like we, like to say, Dave, ace rag will probably win you a small pot when the other guy misses. But boy, if you hit and he hits, you're going to lose.
Yeah, once in a while against a player like, I'll give you an example. If I'm playing against a player like Jesus, okay?
Yep.
And I said I call. But he was excited.
Oh, actually not Jesus. But if I'm playing against a player like Al,
And he
say,
forgot about
okay?
the hundreds.
And he raises me, I might call him with ace 3, hoping upon miracle that I hit 2 pair, because I figure he'll have top pair, okay? Because I'm getting huge implied odds because I know he won't be able to get away from ace king or ace queen.
Is it Bill your friend?
There have been a few times where somebody's late, like let's say they raise $15, I have ace-5, he has ace-queen. Flop comes out, I hit some miracle, flop comes out ace-5, ace-5-10, and I get all his chips. But obviously you got to be careful with that. If you're going to play those ace rags, you got to be able to get away from them.
Well, Brian's going to raise here with king 4 offsuit, $25, and seat 7 there's got pocket 5s he calls.
Man.
Al's in there with king 9 of hearts.
You got to close with Brian there. That's just the definition dictionary of somebody steaming.
And we got 4-way action. Ace, ace 7. Now, if he actually bets here, Dave, from what we can see, he would probably take it down. Unless Paul wanted to get involved.
Yeah, it's not a bad flop for 5s, is it?
Well, he's going to bet. Brian checks and Paul bets. I just don't know if Paul's kind of played it tight all night. I don't know if he would get involved.
Yeah.
And he's going to take it down, it looks like.
No, I don't know how to do it. You want to explain it to me? No, I'm serious. I can't believe it. That's not right.
He's going to take it down.
That's not nice. I'm telling you.
Once again, if you want to email us with any of your questions, comments, if you've been offended by anything we've said, please email us at live@thebike.com.
No one's helping me out here with my Empire affiliate, Dave. I'm a little disappointed. 30% land.
Running jack.
Come on, folks.
There's no love here.
I know.
No love.
I know the guy is a reputable guy. I'm just trying to get contact information. Buster Stacks.
Just the regular stuff.
Couple limpers.
Let's build it.
25.
We got a $25 raise here
Might as well.
by Francois. He's got King Jack of Diamonds on the button. Okay.
And once again, he's just betting on, he's using his position.
Now, Hollywood Russ has got an ace queen there. And we also have King Jack. And Brian is in there with weak king. So if the case king comes out, 3 of the kings are dead. $100 pot. And the flop comes 9-5-4 rainbow.
Go ahead.
Russ still has the best hand here, but hard for him to know that.
I was going to say, wonder if Francois was going to bet in there, but I got checked around the flop. He's picked up a diamond draw now. Now let's see if he bets. And now he is going to bet. He's going to bet the pot. Diamond draw, overcards. Now, Russ has put himself in a tough spot here, right?
Well, I was going to ask you. The only thing that's interesting is,
Forgot what I had.
Me too.
I'm trying to think of what kind of hand does Francois have?
That he would check the flop.
Yeah.
Right. He's not the player that would check a set there either, Dave. I mean, I think you almost put him on overcards and maybe a flush draw. Now he's just trying to steal it.
The bullet.
And he takes it. So if you're Russ, are you saying that you could have taken it away from him with a raise there, or?
Yeah, a raise, or say even him betting.
Yeah.
It just didn't make much sense. He raised pre-flop and then he checks it. What would he check?
Oh, I agree with you.
To be honest with you, it was actually an odd check. I'm not sure why he checked it.
I like 10, so I can borrow you.
Big blind.
He was one of them. I know I started it. How you play this to sound?
You're a big blind.
And Shirley Rosario is in the big blind.
Makes 3.
Okay, now, English. I'm not, my English.
Hollywood Russ this time, he's got ace jack suited in the small blind.
Yeah, one time.
Brian here,
35.
he's going to raise with deuce 6 offsuit. Well, he's really, really
Straights
playing a lot of hands now, steaming. And looks like Sergio's going to call with pocket 5s. Let's see what Hollywood Russ does in the small blind. He's got ace jack suited.
That's the best hand. Oh, really? And so basically, if none
Looks
of
like
them
he's gonna
has,
make the
then
call.
I win, right?
And Shirley has got pocket aces. We couldn't see the hand before. She's got pocket aces. Let's see how she plays it. Couple of aces. $35 raise under the gun.
Let's just try it.
Couple of callers.
I want to bet $500.
And let's see how much she raises. There's the 35.
I don't know, I saw you
And she makes it 50 more. And look at this. Brian instantly calls. Now, I'm sure Shirley's trying to get heads up here. Oh, and is Sergio going to get caught up with calling with pocket 5s here? He just doesn't have enough to make this call. But he makes the call again. He lost a lot of money before against Mo with pocket 5s.
You have to muck every time.
Yeah, the lowest hand possible. Basically, nothing.
And it's over to Hollywood Russ now, and he makes the call. So Shirley doesn't drive anybody out. It's a $340 pot.
Lower than...
$340 pot, and here we go to the flop.
I know.
Ooh, and it comes 8-7-6.
It's not a money game.
Shirley's hand is good right now, but there could be better flops for pocket aces 4 ways.
Yeah, I'm not really gambling.
She's going to bet $150 there. And look at this. Brian's going to move all in. He's got a pair of sixes, and we'll see how much more it is. Sergio's got a pair and an open-ended straight draw with pocket fives. And how much does Brian have here? 210, so he's moved all in for 210, which means it's 60 more. Now, everyone still has the option to raise here. The pot now,
Don't use that trick. This is the only
I
trick.
want to say, is $700.
Come on, man.
It's a $700 pot. It's 210 for Sergio to call. Does he want to gamble it up with the draw? And he does. And he might be correct to do so if he thinks that Shirley's going to call him from behind.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
He moves it in there for 180. So now the pot's about 880. Shirley's extra. It's got about a $900 pot here. It's got a $900 pot. The turn's a jack, and the river is a 7, and Shirley Rosario takes it all. Takes it all with the aces.
Send the money. There you go.
Bang, bang, boom.
Finally.
And she looks pretty relieved. Pretty relieved. That can't be a good flop, with that type of heat, but there was just already so much money invested there. Now, again, it's interesting with the way that Sergio played it over there with pocket fives. He's basically moving all in 180, in essence, to win 900. Or, excuse me, 180 in essence to win 700 because his money is not there. So he's getting about 3.5 to 1 there. Now, the only problem is that other people can make a higher straight. He's going for the bottom end of the straight. So it's questionable whether he can call because even if he gets there, he doesn't know if his hand is good. Obviously, if the top part of the straight comes, anyone with that card higher, which in that case, like if a 9 came, a 10 would give somebody a higher straight. But he was open-ended. He chose to gamble it up with his draw. Everybody missed, and Brian, once again, man, he's rebought for 500. Absolutely incredible. Deuce 6 offsuit. Wow.
I'm not going to give 5%.
Again, you just
I
never
think it's good.
see everything here live at the bike.
Hey, you can be
Pot is limped around here. Ace, 8, 9, couple of diamonds.
Hey, Donna, she just want to shut up. Bad dealer.
Looks like we get a bet here by Ken with King 9.
You know what? I'm ready to go home. I made my money.
And Nadiv is going to call. Turn is a queen. Turn's a queen. Nadiv, Ken bets again here. Looks like 20. And Nadiv calls again. Let's see if this one just gets checked down here on the river.
I'm happy if it's 50. I don't complain.
He's going to bet again. He bets 50. Looks like Nadiv, he's counting his chips out here. Got a weak ace. Ken has bet all the way, but not really that strong.
How much do you think there's going to be people tomorrow?
He says he thinks he got me beat.
First place 50.
Let's see what he does here. A bet by Ken on the flop, a small bet by Ken on the turn, and now he bets 50 here on the river. But Nadiv is going to call him off, and he's going to be good here with the ace-4. Takes it down. Boy, it's nice if you're Shirley to have pocket aces in the small blind. Have about a $35 raise by Brian under the gun with deuce 6. 3 people call. You make it 50 more to go. You get everyone to call. And the flop comes 8-7-6. You bet 150. Brian calls with deuce 6. Sergio gambles it up with an open-ended straight draw, bottom end, which is questionable because he had the bottom end open-ended straight draw, and everybody misses everything, and you take it all with aces. That's got to be nice to recap that hand for you. But you took a deep breath at the end of the hand, I got to tell you. I mean, you got 4 people that call you there.
How come every time your hands
8-7-6. You could see better flops with pocket aces. We got a raise here by seat 7. He's got king 10 of clubs. Makes it 15 to go.
I think he has ace. At least ace.
It looks like Brian's got 10-5 offsuit. And boy, is he in for 2 or 3 rebuys here? Maybe 3. I think he might be down 1,500 for the night.
Yeah, ask him. He's been playing with good friends.
Flop comes queen, jack, 8. Brian called with 10-5. He's got a gut shot now. Paul bets with king 10. Open-ended. Brian calls. And let's see what Ken does here with the king, jack. He's going to call a $20 bet.
What is Brian calling with?
Dave, it's amazing. Checks blind. The turn's a 5. He's picked up a pair now. Ken checks.
Brian is just hemorrhaging.
Yeah, he is. Paul bets again with the draw.
What, now Brian gets a pair and he throws, right? Was he calling with the gut shot, I guess?
I think he was. Now, Ken check calls it. It was a $50 bet here. Ken's hand is good right now, and the river is a 10.
Wow. You know what's interesting there? Brian would have made 2 pair.
Yeah, that's right. No one has a 9, but it's a 4. You know, anyone with a 9 would have a straight here, Dave. And look at this. Ken's going to bet. He bet 70.
He raised 35 and I made it. I mean, 30.
I don't know if he thinks he has the best hand here or not, Dave. He actually does, and he takes it down.
Also, I came into the booth there and got to see Shirley Rosario in action.
I hope you heard that little recap I did there.
I did. I'm assuming you did that mostly for me and for our viewers, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, one characteristic of the smaller no limit game, now these blinds in this game are 5-5. The buy-in is restricted to 300 to 500.
Yep.
And until you win a few pots, now Shirley Rosario and like Al both have well over $1,000. But until then, when you only have $500 or $400 in front of you, it's really tough to get away from aces or any overpair.
Yeah. Well,
Because once you make it $150 or $200 to go, the pot is often too big to really let go for just another $150 or $200 more.
We've got a new player coming into seat 8. It's Jason. And I was actually speculating there, Dave, that Sergio in his spot, by moving in 180 to win 700, he had an open-ended straight draw with 2 cards to come.
Right.
May have been correct, but it was the ass end of it. So it's like if the 9 comes, you don't even know if you're good. It's just
Right.
kind of lower your odds a little
Well, you'd have
bit.
to put somebody at a 10, which is
Yeah.
the odds. You
Yeah.
know, okay, does somebody have somebody actually sitting in there with a 10? That would mean somebody's in there with a gut shot.
Shirley raises here. Makes it 35 to go here with ace 10. And Nadiv is not going to play.
But I know the flop you said was 6, 7, 8.
Yep.
Now, if this game was really, really deep, and each player had $3,000 or $4,000 in front of them,
Right.
Shirley might not have lost too. I mean, she might have gotten away from the hand actually.
Well, I mean, Shirley always likes to say when she's in there with me that, I try to raise with aces out of the blind so I can get heads up. And she tried to make it 50 more. Now it's 35. So 35 in there with 4-way action. That's 140. She actually only raised it 50 more. I actually don't think she raised enough if that was what her intention was.
Well, if that was her goal, obviously.
Yeah.
Turned out she kept everybody in, and that was good for her, huh?
Yeah, well, it ended up. But, I mean, not a really great flop for aces.
No, that's what I was going to say. If she had $3,000 and everybody else covered
Yeah.
her, and she bets 150, and somebody comes over the top for 600, and somebody else calls,
Yeah.
she's probably going to throw them away.
I had diamond draw and straight draw my first hand. And I missed.
But in a small game like this, it's hard to get away from those big hands.
Right.
Thought that I was still playing my two pair.
I think I remember that.
Pot is limped around here.
The only way I can win the pot.
Got 3-way action.
Because I know if I check, he's going to fire. But I heard some good things about him. I guess there's some good things.
Nobody has anything here.
I don't think we.
Paul's betting with his nothing though.
Yep.
Kind of like not bragging on you personally, but we were just bragging on the situation because the first time I remember you playing in this game, you sat in this seat 7, and the guy next to you was drunk and kept high-fiving you. And we were saying, we're like.
I think Shirley's telling Francois
the undertone mic, and
the story of the undertone.
But again, what
Telling Francois the story of the undertone. People on 2+2, Francois had a little night there with a gentleman named Mike, and they seemed to get a little bit friendly at the table.
Francois and Mike?
Yeah, not Corporation Mike, another Mike. The guy was hugging him. They were high-fiving every time he won a pot.
Really?
You guys say a good thing, though. I like that.
Is Francois gay?
Oh, no.
Oh, he's not.
think
I didn't
so.
know. I wasn't sure.
don't think so.
22.
That's the
Because I'm not gay, but Francois is a good-looking guy. If I was gay and Francois was gay, hey, nothing's wrong with that. You know, hey, it's what 2005. You know,
We get a raise here on the button by
Jeez,
Paul.
where's West Hollywood Henry when you need him?
Yeah. Ace 10 of spades. And look at that. Shirley's going to come in with queen. Excuse me. Shirley's got 6-7 offsuit. That makes more
Brian's got
sense.
queen deuce though, and he's got trip deuces.
Yep. A little surprising to see Shirley call out in early position. And Brian checks it. And Paul bets 20. So it's a $120 pot, 20 to call, 20 into a $100 pot. And Francois calls. Yeah.
Shirley can play a lot more hands now because she's
Yeah.
got more money.
Now let's see what Brian does here with this made hand. He just calls. Let's see the turn. The turn.
Oh, that's a bad-
Oh, wow. What a bad card for trip deuces. Wow, and the ace 10's going to bet again here. 50, and Francois calls.
I mean, you could almost lay this down.
And Brian calls. Wow.
Just out of curiosity.
About a $300 pot here, and the river's a 10. Oh, wow.
Well, that doesn't change anything really.
No, I know, but look at this. Paul continues to bet. And Brian is just going to win a lot of money here by overcalling, I think. $45 bet, a $45 call, and a call over a $500 pot. And he's going to turn over queen deuce, and people are going to be like, wow,
Ooh, nice hand. Queen deuce.
wow. Oh, there you go. Chalk
Interesting.
one up for Brian.
Yeah, interesting play there.
Oh, freaking turn that.
Now, I was going to say that Shirley, you were questioning her call of the 6-7 in early position. Now she's got over $1,000 in front of her.
No, I wasn't questioning the 6-7 call. I thought she had called with queen deuce, so I was
Oh, I
questioning
got
that.
Before, when she only had $400, $500
Yeah.
in front of her, she wasn't really getting the implied odds to go for those.
Yeah.
Now that she has, I want to say, probably close to $1,200 in front of her, she can call that because there are players at the table that have her covered, and she can win a really big pot.
No, her coming in with queen deuce suited, I was like, boy, that's odd. But it was actually Brian, so it makes more sense now.
There's no turn, you get in trouble.
Trying to put all in? Good for you.
Better be getting it.
Good for you.
Why were you afraid of the eight?
Limped around here.
Raise your flop. You didn't have a deuce.
10, deuce, 3.
I put him on the deuce. He said it was his favorite hand. I was like, okay, deuce three, probably.
Looks like it got checked around there. The turn's a 7.
Yeah, I want to say that Jason still has the best hand with fives, huh?
Well, Ken's going to bet here. He's got an open-ended straight draw, and he's going to bet $20. Jason mucks.
Kind of passive. That's check that on the
On the
if-
flop, on the button,
Well, if
right?
I have the button and there's only one overcard and everybody's checked to me,
Yeah.
I'm going to bet fives. Every time.
Every time?
Every time. Well, I hate to put absolutes in there, but pretty much every time.
Yeah.
I mean, if people check to me on the button, I don't necessarily need a real hand to even bet.
Yeah.
But if I actually have a hand, I'm definitely going to bet. Interesting game here. We got a couple of bluffers, a couple of callers, a couple of folders, a couple of dreamers. Button is in seat 9. Blind is 5 and 5. That's Francois in seat 1, small blind. Big blind is Al in seat 2. Hollywood Russ is actually taking a break from the game, so Shirley's under the gun.
Looks like Francois picked up a couple of 9s, and Brian has ace king, seat 5.
That fault, I'm sorry.
Now, Brian's shown down a lot of crap now, Dave.
Yeah, because I see you
I mean, it's not just us that's seen this. The 10 deuce hand, the 6 deuce hand, I think he showed against Shirley's aces.
The queen deuce hand.
Yeah, the queen deuce hand, how he played that. $50 raise here with ace king. And Francois calls. Al mucks, so one of the aces is dead. Ace king
Heads up
against
here.
pocket 9s. I think Brian might have checked blind here.
What do you have?
Wow, and it goes check. Francois checks there with 10-5.
Well, he was under the gun. He wanted to see what the other guy was going to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't mind the check there by Francois. Remember, he's checking in first position.
Are you sure about the position there?
I'm pretty sure. I think.
Oh, yeah, he was
small
in the small
blind.
blind. Okay.
He was in the small blind. The button was in seat 9. So he's checking one to see
Okay.
what Brian will do.
What confused me because I thought Brian said check blind, but he was actually in position.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That was raised, re-raised, everything.
Yes.
But once again, Brian raises 50 and then doesn't even bother betting the
That was,
flop
this is
with ace
me.
king.
I got it from my neighbor.
And amazingly, Brian now, I want to say that
Because he knows I play a lot.
he bought into this game for $1,100 and now has rebought twice. He is in this game for about $2,100. I mean, he's down probably close to $1,300 or $1,400 since the game started.
I can't win it. I have to be
Sergio, who was in seed 8, lost about $800.
Queen's not a common hand.
And he's out about $800, but he's gone.
Got a raise here. And he's going to make it 70 total. We can't see what he has there, Francois.
And once again, Francois raises on the button.
He's got pocket jacks.
Now, he happens to have real hands these times, but he seems to always raise in position.
We have an email here, Dave, from a Sean O'Hara. He works for EA Sports. He's he's a technical artist. That must be a cool job on designing, like, say, Madden
EA Sports.
pictures and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
I'd say
that's my
pretty
hero.
cool. Other than getting up and moving to a different table, what would you guys do if you weren't getting any action at a table? Would you show down a couple of bluffs? I mean, if we were on our own time, now unfortunately when we prop here, it's not our choice, but when you're on your own time, do you just get up and look for a different table, or do you make some moves that are going to loosen the table up?
Well, it depends. You got to look at this table. Go, okay. Obviously, it depends on why aren't you getting action?
Yeah.
Am I not getting action because the table is really passive and really tight? Well, in that case, you can change the way you play. And instead of looking to win a really big pot, you can win a lot of small pots.
Yeah.
If you're not getting action because you're only showing down the nuts and you have a really, really tight image, well, hey, you can use that image then to bluff later on.
Nadiv raised here to 35 with pocket 8. He gets called by Ken and by Brian. And the flop comes ace 8-9. So Ken has a top pair. Nadiv's got a set.
Yep, and it's all hearts, though.
Now, can you call here with ace 7 without the 7, without any heart? I mean,
I
it's
don't
really
think so.
tough.
Yeah, I mean, what can you beat, really?
He's bet 95.
I mean, you can beat maybe like, a naked king-queen with the king of hearts.
Again, the flop is ace 9-8, couple hearts.
And he lays down.
nuts. Yeah.
I mean, I think whenever you're at a table,
And he shows the set of 8s right
whenever you're at a table, the decision whether to get up and change a different table, obviously, is you got to look at this table, figure out, okay, is there easy money at this table? Is the table good for the way I play? And then also look at it on the reverse side of how does the table see me?
So we're going to look at another chip count here, and Shirley, of course, is in the lead with 1,200, just that one hand. Nadiv, he's made a, he's pumping it up there too. Dave's got about 1,100, and actually we're getting worried he might actually have a couple hundred more from that last hand. So it's either Shirley or Nadiv that's up there at the top.
Hey, for the record, I mean, we've been trying to get a battle of the sexes night.
Yeah.
So it's Shirley versus the rest of them, and Shirley is winning.
Exactly.
But a lot of times I like to look at a table and I like to try to figure out how is this table seeing me? What do they see me as? And do I like that?
5-3 deuce here, couple of spades.
You want to get me drunk.
You said you wanted another drink.
And we have a bet here by Ken, I believe, and Paul called with the ace 7.
The service is going to
Wow.
ruin. It doesn't bring my foot.
Ken bets 15 again. I mean, was Paul calling for the wheel? And he's going to actually raise here, Dave. He's going to make it 40. Well, that's always better than just calling.
And Paul
Ken
calls.
Well, Ken calls.
Ken calls, sorry.
Ken calls the raise. Got a gut shot to the 4. Oh, the river's a 10, and Ken backs into a pair.
I got that. I like the way Paul played the hand. I mean, raising there.
Now, what would you do with 10-6 here? Would you check?
I think you need to check this.
Well, he's going to
Well,
bet.
I mean, to me, you check it because you want to induce the bluff.
Right. That's what I was thinking as well.
Or the guy's already got me beat, and I'm going to call him down anyway. And if all that fails, getting back to Sean's question, If all that fails, obviously, if you look at a table and the table is just not good action, or you don't like the way they see you, or whatever, just get up and try another table.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I mean, ordering drinks for people always help. I mean, get the game friendly. It's obviously different little.
Now, Dave, word is that you will buy anyone at a table that you're playing with a drink. Is that true?
All the time. I will always buy drinks for people.
You actually bought me a drink last Friday, although
I bought you
I
two.
actually paid for it.
No, I paid for
You
it.
did? Are you sure?
I paid for it. You
I think
tipped
I
her.
was too drunk.
You tipped her. She actually came over to me for the money for it and said, "Oh, Bart already tipped me."
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, okay," and I tipped her anyway, also.
Oh.
But I bought you 2 beers.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I will always buy somebody a drink. To me, it's a small investment to keep the game friendly, and
But we weren't playing in the same game, though.
that's okay.
I was two-fisting him, huh, on Friday night?
You were too fit. You always do that Friday nights. Friday night's like 2 fist night for you.
Well, in Limit Hold'em, you don't really need to be sober to play
You
it,
were
right?
playing No Limit. You were playing this game.
Was I?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And these guys are all in, actually. $10, and they're going to chop it up. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
The action never stops here, folks.
You're right, I was playing the 300 game.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a little bit stupid, then.
You're not eating your meal yet.
You said it, I didn't.
It's true.
My stomach hurts.
There have been a few times, though, I've been in a game, and I've really wanted to get up because my image has been awful. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes if you're losing a lot,
Act like it's some kind of
and you've got kind of like a look like that, sometimes you want to get up and leave only because you're looked at as like a target. You know, people start looking at you going, well, I know Dave's a good player, or I know Bart's a good player, but he's having a bad night. Let me take advantage of him tonight.
Wait, I gotta tell you, I mean, I was looking at some old archives over the weekend, Dave. When we have all been on the show, Shirley, myself, or you at separate times, we've really torn the table up, haven't we? I mean, I know myself, I'm up about 2,300 from two or three sessions of $200 no limit. And I think you had a pretty good night when you were on, too, 30-60.
I had a couple of good
other
nights. I had a couple of good nights. I actually didn't do very well in one night of 30-60 limit. I couldn't buy a hand that night, but
Pocket sevens here against Deuce 4. Francois raised it, made it 20.
and Brian called with Deuce 4 offsuit.
Check here, turns a 3.
Well, he's got an open-ended straight draw now.
Wait a minute. No, I checked. I'm going to wait
No,
before you bet.
Francois is just gonna. He's in position. He's just checked it the whole way. Oh, now he's gonna bet 50, and he takes it down.
Oh my goodness. Good.
Whenever he wants to call, he can bet yellow.
No, I had a king. I was trying to get stuck.
Yeah, I had a night where the deck hit me in the face, and of course Shirley. I mean, she hasn't played many hands. Actually, if you go back and you watch the show that I was on, I think it was for May.
Any day.
I mean, it was ridiculous, Dave. It was sitting in a 200 game, and it was probably the most lucky I've
I slept so good.
that I've ever gotten in a game in a session.
Yeah,
I played about 3 hours. I was up about, I don't know, $1,100 in a 200 game or something crazy like that.
Well, you were just, I mean,
Yeah.
everything you did was like just golden, you know?
Well, I have to impress the fans, you know.
Yeah,
My
I don't
fans.
think it had anything to do with that. Jack just hit you in the head.
You know what I mean? Like basically anybody that's
Three-way action here, $15 pot.
monthly, why not more than
It was that little troll on the bottom of the table I keep there, rigging the deck.
Bet 20.
Jason with top pair here.
But Brian's going to bet 20. Jason
got a gut
actually checked it from up front.
Jason's pretty tight from what I've seen. I've only seen him for a couple of rounds now, but
Brian's got second pair there, and like you said, he's got a gut shot. He calls. So we're heads up here. King 8 against Jack 10. Turns a deuce.
well, that's always a scary card to see on the turn.
Bet 20.
And Brian bets 20 here.
Well, 20. Let's price in my opponent.
Jason calls again. Check calls again.
I don't want to.
Pot's about $90 now. And the river's a 5. He checks. Check. Jason's hand is good.
But how about if they need me?
I was going to go all in, did you?
So I'm sure we're going to have a very exciting night again tomorrow. And it actually was funny. You were telling me off of the air how maybe sometimes even, making those blinds smaller yesterday will make the game actually better tomorrow because people have now played up, and now when they play back down, they'll play even looser.
Of course.
Right?
Well, it's just a basic thing. We all remember when we used to play 3-6 or 4-8, or
Right.
if we still play that. Now you play 20-40, right, Bart? So if I were to put you in like a 3-6 Hold'em game, you might really mix it up and have a good time, right? Just kind of mess around.
Right.
Now, the same kind of theory in the sense of, it took a while for these guys to get used to 10-20 no-limit Hold'em. Well, last night they were playing 25-50 no-limit Hold'em.
Yeah.
What kind of race is that? Is it just like, tell me, call?
It shouldn't change your game. It really shouldn't, but
I mean, it's like,
unfortunately it
Inherently,
does. It does.
I cannot call. What are you looking at?
Ken raised here. King, queen offsuit, 15. Brian calls with deuce 5 and Francois in there with 5-3 of diamonds.
Check my 9.
And Ken's going to bet here. He's going to
How much you got left?
bet the pot about 50.
Yeah, let's give Ken credit here. I mean, he bets his bluffs and he bets his hands.
In position, second pair, pretty good kicker. Why
Oh,
not
definitely.
bet?
Why not? He raised pre-flop. He's representing the ace.
One day, if I call with my 9, how much is going to bet the turn? How much are you going to bet the turn?
Francois, are you going to school for, Francois?
Going to school for Peterborough.
Got another email here, Dave, by Chris Fries. He said he just began watching the show a couple of weeks ago, and he's already addicted.
Well, that's because we put nicotine in the show.
In the show.
Yeah. It's like the insider.
Hey, buddy, service. Forget about the pizza.
Oh,
bread.
Shirley's leaving?
Let me be on diet for today. He doesn't want to touch food.
Maybe we can get her in the booth.
And he made me disgusted.
Do a quick little sign-off on her.
Up to me? Truck rib.
Limped around here.
Once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5.
King 7 deuce.
I check.
Oh,
Checked around here, Dave. Turns a 3.
20.
And now Francois is going to bet here on a 3. Got a pair of 3s.
So Jason calls.
Well, Jason's pretty tight, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we saw him call down with the King 8 there. That was top pair, though.
Yeah, top pair heads up.
Yeah.
You know.
And am I getting word that it's Russ McGinley's birthday?
So
Happy
Russ
birthday,
McGinley's
Russ McGinley.
birthday is on my parents' anniversary.
Everybody. I'm
Wow.
just giving
Happy
you
birthday,
advice.
Russ. How old is he?
Never put an extra chip. Never.
Mid-20s, I would think. We
Yeah.
both met him, right?
There's a lot of they can handle 21
From the good old northern Floridian Empire.
Did you just make that up?
Swamps and
Floridian Empire?
Bayous and...
A lot of people don't.
Wow.
I mean,
I can safely say I've never heard anybody say Floridian Empire before.
No?
this guy.
I like it.
Obviously, northern Florida is a lot different from southern Florida, just like California is.
Oh.
Northern California is different from
Like two
southern
different
California.
states.
Right.
Extra $500.
All day. All day, these.
Huh? Yes. Whatever you.
Get a raise here. Shirley. Looks like
Shirley?
Shirley's got King 10. Appears like it.
Jason called with Queen Jack, but, Jason's pretty passive, unless Jason really hits the flop. I'd imagine Shirley can bet this and take it.
Oh, she checks.
Wow.
You can have him because you made back off.
Turn is an 8.
Check.
Wow. Is Jason just going to let her win here with Queen High?
With King High, I would imagine so.
Yep.
King high. I have king.
Bad move there.
Maybe she doesn't think she needs to bet because, most guys just toss their hand in the muck like Mo.
Right.
I mean, I want to ask her about that one. What the heck was that? What did she like? Give Mo a little wink and a smile?
If I come in, I'm gonna pay the turn.
She's leaving with about $1,160, Dave. So
Well, there
I
you go.
think she's up probably 600 and change.
Well, there you go. Wow. Well, she is the official poker babe.
You can go to poker-babes.com. Check her out.
But I had one. Mine
Check her out.
Donna? Right there.
I should.
The table was so quiet today, huh? Except for you.
Quiet on my end.
There you go.
Action looks like it's over to Francois.
Can I play his hand?
Boy, when Brian, hopped up from the table there for a couple rounds, action kind of died down, didn't it?
A little
oh,
bit,
oh,
yeah.
Actually, he's at the table. Excuse me.
Oh, you can't win with it.
Jack 6 Jack.
So that's not a bad flop for seat 5. Seat 3 there, Russ.
Pocket 5s. And now he'll probably bet. Like I said, we pick up these patterns.
So
right?
he usually does, right? Checks it once, makes sure it's safe, then he bets it.
$10.
Whopper. Russ.
Shows his hand again.
20 good.
Quite the shirt there that Hollywood Russ is wearing.
Yeah, definitely. That's interesting. About a month ago, I say 3 weeks ago, I actually played well into the wee mornings with Francois and a couple of players. And we played it four-handed. And got along with him well. He's a really nice guy, actually, Francois. And I think he's a pretty good poker player also.
He is. Absolutely.
So we're going to get a new player in seat 4. And it looks like Eric is going to come in the booth.
Eric Natali.
So we lose the lovely Shirley Rosario.
And we gain the lovely Eric.
Yeah. Great.
5-way action. Jack 5-3 here, a couple clubs. Al's got pocket 6s.
Bet 20.
And he's going to bet from the cutoff.
And that's a good bet there. One overcard. You can't be instantly scared of the Jack.
Absolutely.
And I don't think anybody can call.
There you go.
Now, to re-go over that question that Sean asked, about getting action, if you're playing at a table with a bunch of people like Jason in seat 8, well, he's not giving anybody action. So the best way to play a player like that is to, play it aggressive and take advantage of their passive tight play.
What the hell is that? You're not going to eat that.
I can say it's different. When somebody says it seems weird, It's like when you talk about, because I wanted to be a physical therapist. Back home, I used to be good in biology, so I wanted to be a doctor. Yeah. But once people start talking about blood and all this, I get sick. But when I talk about it, it's cool. Same thing.
And then once in a while, a game just sucks. You know what I mean? Have you ever sat in a game and you just sit in a game and you go, man, this game is just not good.
Yeah.
It's tight, it's aggressive. If it's tight, aggressive, tough game, hey, get up, try another game. Or if you're online, try another, just watch a game for 15 minutes and see what it's like.
We got a raise here by seat 9, ace 8 offsuit. Brian is going to call from the button with 8-3 offsuit.
Well, at least his cards are live. Oh,
And
no, they're not.
Seat 7 is in there. We can't see what he has. Flop comes 10-8 deuce.
Brian's play is just, he seems like a really nice guy. And once again, we're not taking it personal, but his play has gone from...
Look at this, 2 ace 8s. We get a bet here by Nadiv.
Well, that was case 8.
How much is the bet here? 60 and a call in both spots. So, Dave, we're looking at a $250 pot here to the turn.
Well...
And how far is Brian going to go with this hand? Oh, wow. And the turn's an ace.
Well, we're going to see fireworks. Unfortunately, we know that it's going to be a...
Oh, God, I can't
Well,
call.
Paul only has... He moves in for 15. Now, if you're Nadiv here, is he going to pop it up?
Too fair.
He's going to rip. Oh, he just calls. Wait a minute. Oh, and I guess Brian is out of there.
Yeah, Brian mucked.
River is a 10.
Brian mucked. And like I said, I don't want to get personal here, but Brian's play has gone from bad to badder and worser and disastrous and awful. He's calling
to pancake batter.
Well, he's calling raises with like 8-3, 5 deuce offsuit. I'm just not sure what he's doing.
Pancake batter. I think Shirley's going to come into the booth.
Yes, Shirley is going to come into the booth. Would you like to talk to her about it?
I'll talk to her for a second.
Okay.
looks like we got ace queen here by Al, and he's going to bring it in for a raise. There's the lovely Shirley. Lovely Shirley.
Actually,
Boy.
you have some hands here.
Yeah, ace queen, king queen.
Ace
Shirley,
jack.
so what do you think about C5's play tonight, huh?
Well, I just heard David say he's gone from bad to worse. I mean,
Yeah.
he really has. He started out playing okay, and he had a lot of chips, and then he just kept going. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, he just flipped.
We've got three-way action here. It's about $100 pot. King 8-5, all diamonds, and Brian's hit top pair. No one has a
Right.
diamond.
Well, Ken has a diamond there.
Oh, excuse me, Ken's got the ace jack. Not really a high diamond, but we'll see.
Brian checked.
Yeah, everybody checks. Turn is a 7. Now, we talk about Al, he really is kind of passive. Never really shows any aggression when he doesn't have it. And now Brian's going to bet.
Well,
He bets 45, and Ken is going to call with that jack of diamonds.
right.
And Al is out of there.
So I'm disappointed I didn't see the pre-flop action because I might be able to explain something there.
And the river is a 5. Well, Al raised, Brian called, and Ken called. And it just gets checked
Oh,
down.
pre-flop?
Yeah, pre-flop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Ken has been, whenever he raises on the flop, he's been betting no matter what.
That's
and it's something,
true.
yeah, and it's something that Brian noticed. I mean, he whispered it to me. So if Ken had raised there, it would be a reasonable check for Brian.
So I
check raise.
wanted to ask you, I mean, really, the hand that you won, pretty much, that gave you...
Was aces in. How much heat did I have to take for that
85%. Well, what I wanted to ask you was that, because obviously we've done a lot of commentating in here together, was your goal, and usually you like to say your goal is aces out of the blind, was your goal to try to get that hand heads up? Because I kind of speculated that it was $35 times 4, so it was
Right.
$140. Now, you made it 50 more.
50 more.
Now, my question is that if you were trying to get heads up, wasn't that a little small?
In normal situation, I totally agree with you, but
Yeah.
the table had been playing pretty tight. I mean,
Yeah.
it just now seems like it's starting to loosen up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not think that I was going to get more than that, and I really wasn't concerned with seat. Well, he's not there anymore. Seat 8, because he had been playing a lot of ace rag
Yeah.
hands all night long, and I figured that I probably had him dominated no matter what. So I wasn't concerned about him, but I wasn't thrilled when I got 3 callers. And then a horrible flop,
I was gonna
and
say,
then
boy, that
2
flop-
all-ins
that-
and behind me, and
That flop's just going to make you feel
but
sick
I
to
couldn't
your
do
stomach,
anything.
doesn't it?
I couldn't do. I mean,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
Well,
Check
and then
fold?
did
So I-
Sergio show down the hand there from the side on seat 8, what he had? He actually made a
one,
call on
one
a
person
draw.
had 5.
Yeah,
He-
pocket
that was
fives.
the only hand I saw.
He was calling with the all-in ass end of the straight, but actually I said that at that point he was risking a 180 to win about 700. Now, the 9 comes, he doesn't necessarily know his hand is good,
Right.
but boy, you can't like the callers. And then Brian in seat 5, deuce 6. Deuce 6 he called with. Did he show that to you?
No, he didn't.
He had 6 deuce on the hand.
Wow.
6 deuce. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got the tight guy out. I got seat 3 out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, he was the one that was playing better on the table than anybody else. Oh, now I get to hear some abuse from David. All right, let me hear it, David.
Okay, no abuse whatsoever, actually. I just had a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. Blonde hair
Yeah.
and breasts. It
Work-
really
work.
helps. Well, I'm just curious. Okay, you bluffed Mo with 6-7, right? Remember that hand?
Yeah, but you know what?
The flop is Queen Jack.
Right.
Okay, he had King 10, by the way. You bet
Okay.
on the flop.
Right.
He called you.
Yeah.
The turn was a jack.
Right.
He checked. You checked.
Right.
The river was like a deuce.
And he just mucked.
He just mucked.
Right. You know what? I'm actually kind of thinking, because Mo wouldn't do that, right? Because like 15 minutes prior to that, I paid for Mo's massage. So, I called the guy over and I said, give Mo a massage, because Mo gives everybody a massage. And how often does someone pay for his massage? That's what I figured. I mean, I think he would have tried to take that pot.
Do you, I actually think he put you on a queen there.
He might have thought I had
when the
a
jack
better
came, you
hand,
said,
but
"Forget it."
But I think he probably thought that against another player when that jack came, I don't think he would have checked. I think he would have let out, knowing Mo. You
Right.
read situations well. I think he would have let out on that jack.
And you realize the interesting thing, Brian also, and that's what I'm wondering, is it like the blonde hair, you're good looking, like what's going on here? Because Brian, the first hand you sat down on, and I love your play, by the way, you bet outright, you had 9-8, the flop came out 9 high.
Right.
And you bet straight out, which is, I love that. Brian actually laid down 10-9
He said he laid down a 9. Yeah.
with a better kicker than you.
Yeah.
And then the whole night, like he made that play versus you, And then we watched him call other players down with, like, a pair of deuces.
Right.
And I'm going, what do you
Well,
have to do?
sometimes, yeah, sometimes the girl thing works.
I'm going to come dressed
But
up.
how'd you like that? Yeah, but he did come over the top of me with, what, 5-6? Deuce? Remember when I raised to 20 with deuce 3 of clubs?
Yeah.
You know, I was messing around, and the guy had, like, something like deuce 6, 4-6, something like that. And he re-raised me. Brian did.
Right. But somebody else actually had ace queen.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, you know, once I get re-raised, I'm done with the hand. But
Yeah,
he
I
did show his hand.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, nice.
But I wanted to give you some credit. There's a hand going on here. We're not really going to pay attention
Yeah,
to
that's
the
true.
Queen 8 deuce. Nobody's got a spade. Well, Ken's got
Oh,
king of
set of
spades.
8s? King high flush draw.
It's not that important, though, really.
See,
Let's see what
David
happens
makes me
here.
feel so important.
Turns a 10. 10 of diamonds. Okay. Let's
No
see if a
spade.
spade comes. Ken's going to continue bluffing at it.
He's a check draw now, too.
Yeah. Nadiv's just going to call. $100 now. Pot's like 400.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Up 3. Nadiv's got the best hand. Ken is. Let's see if Ken continues his bluff. And Ken basically shut down.
Right.
And Ken can't call.
Can check the river.
Okay. Back to this now. Nadiv wins a big pot. One thing I got to give you credit for, because we always harp on this, is I love the way you bet when you made top pair. I love the way you bet your hands from early position just to see where you were at.
Right.
And then you also bet your draws.
Right.
Like there's one time you had 3-4 and
I had
the
the
4 came
straight
out
draw.
deuce 5. You know, you got 2 callers and you said, okay, I'm done with it pretty much.
Right.
But I have to say I like that because it's hard to say, okay, does she have... And then you also bet when you made your straight, when you had 4-5. and
Yeah,
the
I
4 came
was
out deuce,
disappointed
3,
in that
6.
when I found, you know, when everyone folded. But with the 2 diamonds out there, and I figured I'm just going to get myself in trouble, and I thought that, you know, I'll stick out a bet, and I thought that somebody might have some kind of diamond that, you know, if someone had the ace diamonds with a pair, I might get a call there, and then I could make a big bet on the turn.
Right.
Just to extract a little more chips, but, you know, they all folded to me.
But
so.
the one thing that's great is, I mean, Barry Greenstein says it all the time, and we agree with him, is that you made all those bets look the same. You know, you bet your draw, you
Right.
you bet the nuts, and you bet just top pair all the same.
Right.
And if I'm playing against you, it's tough to know what does she have, which one is this time.
Right.
So
Thank you.
good job.
Thanks, yeah.
I'm going to hand this back over to
Yeah,
Bart.
and I'll let you back in here. I'm gonna go take a break, or go home, actually. Good night. Good night, Bart.
And I am back. Oh, that was the lovely Shirley Rosario.
75.
Trip queens here for Francois. A bet by Ken and a raise by Francois. And has Ken called? Not yet. Bye, Shirley. The lovely Shirley taking down, geez, about $600 tonight.
Yeah, good night for her.
Yeah.
So was I making nothing of that set of 8s with the king of spades?
I
here?
was like, look at this hand.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I'm sitting there talking to Shirley. Anybody at home wondering here?
Ken bet here on the flop. Francois raised immediately with trips, and Ken's having difficulty here.
Love the play by Francois. Raise immediately. Because you got to look at it and go, why would he raise immediately if he has a queen?
I got to tell you, like, if I see somebody bet out on their trips, on their sets, raise with them, I am, especially in restricted buying games, I immediately tag them as a good player. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because they do that, they're a good player, but it does mean that they're probably somewhat advanced, because I don't know why, but we see that it is mostly human nature for beginners to always slow play.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I never quite understood it, because I never fell into that, Dave. And I don't know.
No, but it makes sense, though. There's a lot of things you can look at. Like, you know, I used to look at a player that would fold in a small blind to an unraised pot. I go, oh, wow.
Well,
he might be decent.
That's actually, something
You know?
that you can look for, too.
Little clues to see if somebody's actually a decent player or not.
Yeah. $25 raise here by Francois. He's got 8-9 of hearts.
It's kind of funny, though. Anybody that obviously didn't see the booth, I'm sitting here with my back turned to the screens, talking to Shirley, and Bart is waving his hands as Nadiv had a set of 8s. Dave, look.
Pocket 5s and pocket 7s and 8-9 suited. And actually, Francois brought this one with pocket 7s. Excuse me.
Once again in position.
King 10-3. But look at this. He tends to play a little bit passively post-flop. We've seen him do this a couple of times, Dave.
And now it just gets worse for him.
Yeah.
He still has the best hand, but
And everybody checks. And the river's a 4.
the only thing I'll throw at you, though, is the game is so passive that he doesn't even need to protect his hand.
And now he's going to bet here on the river, which is, I think, a little bit strange.
Good
Unless
turn,
maybe he
baby.
thinks he can
Good
get
turn.
somebody off of a 10, but he only bet $50 there at the end.
He might also be betting to kind of set up later, like it looks like a steal. There is some value when you're playing No Limit Hold'em, or any game really. There is some value to not having to show your hand down, keeping that mystery alive of what he has. And we're getting an interesting email here from Chris here. What limit should I start to play if my bankroll is about $300 to $400? And what would you say to that?
Well, let's get to that after this hand.
Okay. Button is in seat 4, by the way. And we got a raise from seat 9 to $25, and Brian is called with 7-3 offsuit.
Here we go.
And Ken called with 8-9 offsuit. And it gets checked around here. Everybody's missed. Ace-Jack still in the lead.
Turns a queen.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Brian is the best hand with a pair of 3s.
And the river's an ace. And now Nadiv has made 2 pair.
Yeah.
And he bets. And he takes it down.
Yeah, Brian flopped the best hand there, but obviously...
I got to be honest with you. If you have a bankroll of $300 to $400 and you're trying to play no limit, I would much rather play... Now, I assume if you have a bankroll of $300 to $400, obviously you're not a poker player. You have another auxiliary job. So maybe you have $300, $400 to blow.
Well, you're playing for fun. You want to...
Right.
That's your disposable income.
The thing is, I would actually rather play micro limit, no limit games online and say come and play the $40 game here. I just don't. I mean, we do have a $40
Or maybe a
no-limit
limit game even.
Yeah, or a small limit game. I mean, I think you should come down to the casino and just play to kind of learn how do you get your chips. Some simple things so you're not intimidated. You know, blinds, things like that where you might think, well, I already know that stuff, but if you've never been to a brick and mortar casino, you walk in, oh, okay, what do you do? Do you know what to do?
Right. Now his questions have obviously said here, what are there any sites you suggest playing on, or casinos better? Now, obviously, you and I are partial to playing in a casino.
Right.
Getting to know players. But obviously, if you're either not near one, or it's just more convenient to play online, you know, hey, you could play even 50-cent dollar limits, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you can play you could play like 10 cent, 20 cent no limit if you're interested in that. Or you could play...
Right. Oh, and buy in for $25?
Yeah, exactly. 50 cent, $1 limit.
Right.
You know, something like that. I'm not a huge fan of no limit games that like three that are spread in brick and mortar casinos that are extremely micro limit. What I mean by that is like the $40 game or the $100 game, because in the end, Dave, it's really, really difficult to beat the game. Now, you might come down here and just play it for fun, but you're so restricted. I mean, a $40 buy-in with 1-2 blinds, you have 20 times the big blind.
Right. No, definitely.
You know, it's like...
No, obviously, you have to understand that a lot of people are playing for fun.
Right.
It's a recreational game, and they're just here to have... the majority of poker players are playing for fun.
All right. Now, looks like Nadiv has raised.
Yeah, he's got big slick.
He's going to make it 25 to go.
Ace-King offsuit here.
And Brian calls it Queen-7 offsuit.
I'm very action-oriented.
Brian's gotten to the mode where he's calling every hand. He's playing every single hand.
You told me, you said someone said you were tough.
9-5-3, couple of spades.
Ken has got top pair here.
But look at this, Brian's going to bet. He bets 60.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Brian kind of bluff at something, huh? Unfortunately, this is the first time that somebody else has something. Wow. Can't get away from this hand?
Yeah, just call it. I mean, you don't hit it.
No, he's going to raise.
Simple. Look. Ain't no break.
He has to make it at least 120.
Looks like that's what he's going to make it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 150 there, and Brian quickly mucks. Yeah.
Ken takes it down.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good, maybe 25, 50 cent blinds, no limit hold'em online.
Yeah.
Or 50 cent $1. Because I guess you do want to have, probably at least 10 buy-ins.
I was gonna play it too. At 5-3 a club.
Yeah, so if it's a $25 buy-in.
Right, or a $40 buy-in, you've got enough.
Now, this was a chip count from a couple of hands ago, but it's pretty accurate. I mean, Nadiv is the big winner tonight. I think he's actually won more than Shirley. And I can't remember. Can you remember specific big hand that he won there, Dave? He's won like a lot of medium-sized hands.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, he's won a lot of hands like he had pocket eights there.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
When Ken had king spades, and he just got paid 100 here, 150.
Francois is going to raise here to 20. He's got pocket deuces. Maybe a little bit of a pot builder. And Nadiv has ace-queen suited. Brian's got 10-3 of spades, and he makes the call. I think we might need to go to Brian Cam every hand for the last 20 minutes, Dave.
Oh, Brian's in there no matter what.
I mean, Brian Cam is going to be pretty amusing.
This is a $100 pot now.
Yep, 5-way action. 7-4-4. Not a bad flop for deuces. Let's see how Francois plays it.
Well, hey, if you're not going to hit a set, that's a pretty good flop.
He bets 40 into a $100 pot. But really, no one has anything here. Well, Brian calls.
With 10-3 of spades.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, he has overcards. He's got a backdoor spade draw as well. Turns a 9. Francois checks.
Wow.
He's going to bet 45 here, Dave. I don't think it's enough. Francois calls. And the river's king.
Uh-oh.
There's just nothing Francois can beat.
Right, that's a draw. The only thing you can beat is 5-6.
How much is he going to bet here?
Trying to think of all the draws there. The only thing you can beat is 5-6.
He bets 60, and that's actually enough for Francois to get him off the hand.
Well, the problem is if you look at it and go, okay, I can't beat
Look
a
at that,
7.
it shows the bluff. Shows the bluff.
You can't beat a 7, you can't beat a 4, right? And then you're looking at it going, okay, well, now I can't beat a club. Well, the only thing I can beat is 5-6.
Yep. You know, the funny thing, too, is that on 2+2, Jive Dads has been back. He said he was in Europe.
Yeah.
He's been remarkably quiet. I mean, we saw him post, complaining about the show being a couple minutes late, of course, tonight. But
well, we haven't seen that many stopper bets tonight.
Stop bets. And the table mic, maybe it's up. I'm getting word that we were 1 minute late today.
Well, we'll have to take Isaac out back and flog him, too.
Francois is going to, he's got pocket deuces again.
What, did he keep him?
He makes it 45. And Ken, his play has been a bit puzzling tonight as well.
Yeah,
Dave.
he
got
was bluffing a lot
offsuit.
early on, and it was working, and now it's not.
Ace, 8-8. I think you'd have to bet here if you're Francois. He bets 60. Is Ken going to call? No. So it's interesting, you said, well, yeah, look at a 2-4 limit structured game. Look at somebody mock the small blind.
Oh, if you,
Yeah,
there are certain clues, like when I sit down at a table, if I'm trying to figure out really quickly who can play and who can't play, who's a beginner and who's not a beginner, those are little clues you can look at, You no longer can look at somebody if they're shuffling their chips because people play online.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not a giveaway anymore.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
Seat 6 is raised here to 15. Ken, he's got Jack 9 suited. And Nadiv's going to call King Jack of Diamonds. Nadiv's played pretty solidly tonight. He's kind of been in there sometimes with weak aces. That's my only criticism pre-flop.
Well, he's on the button here. It's in good shape.
Yeah.
I think I will call too.
8-4 deuce.
Al's open-ended.
Now
He's going to bet it. I like it. Nice bet.
He bets 30.
I think it was 11.
He's got the kind of table image that I can't imagine anybody really wants to mess around with him.
That's when I was playing them. 500, you know more? He lost 1,400.
He takes it down.
Ace against Jack. Jack probably said.
Nice bet there by Al.
One hand?
But definitely one of my first things I look for is, because almost everybody when they're in the small blind in an unraised pot, they go, I'm already halfway there, just 2 chips or 1 chip. Of course I'm going to call. And obviously that can be a big mistake in a limit holding game. Even in a no limit game, it can be a mistake. Because you get yourself put into a situation where you have a bad hand in bad position.
This guy sitting here and he's sitting here. He gave him a bad beat. Now, but he's been really on.
We have about 15 minutes left in this show. Looks like we got a lot of high Broadway here. $30 raise here by Pocket Queens in seat 4. Pocket Kings over there in seat 8.
Wow.
I had knocked all my chips.
And Ken's going to call in between with the suited ace.
Is Brian out?
Yeah, Brian's out of the hand.
Oh, my.
And it looks like
Paul there with kings.
He's going to move all in.
And he's only got about, I want to say about $100.
120?
120.
122.
That's one of my eyes you showed me.
So now, if you're Eric,
Yeah.
do you re-raise to shut out Ken?
Do you really want to shut somebody out?
I don't know.
So you might be behind. You might be behind on Paul.
He's going to call. Now, this would be a really bad call for Ken here, right?
You think? I mean, in this case, his ace is actually good, but he doesn't even know.
Now, look at this. He immediately calls.
Wow.
So we're going to build a side pot.
I mean, in a worst case scenario, one of the players has ace king and the other guy has queens, and you're drawing almost dead.
Yeah, I don't see how you can make this call with ace 6. We get about a $375 pot. Now, if it rags come, Eric has to bet on the side. It's got to be mandatory. Right, Dave? On the side. I mean, 9-8-4 here. And he's going to move all in.
This player's all in.
Or were you saying that you wanted to trap somebody on the side?
No, I mean, it's all a matter of, do you think you're behind to the other guy or not? In this case, no, I don't mind this play at all. Obviously, he's got to protect his hand. You know, he figures Ken at least has 1 ace or 1 king.
Now, unfortunately for Eric, he's going to lose the main pot.
I mean, the only thing he's doing
happens.
there by doing that is protecting Paul's hand. Obviously, he doesn't know that, though.
That look familiar, Francois?
Yeah, well, he's protecting Paul's hand, but he's increasing his chance. Well, I guess
he's not increasing. If he knows, if Paul accidentally turned his kings over, then there's really no point in betting it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you need to hit a queen no matter what.
Right. But obviously he doesn't know that, and he can't let an ace.
Of course not. Right, exactly. Without a doubt. Paul could easily have, jacks, tens, ace, king. Who knows? Now, you can't get Paul out of the hand, but you certainly get the other guy out of the hand.
He raised, I re-raised.
It's just one of those cases where if you know what the other guy has, you're only really protecting his hand.
He raised it 15. I mean, what could he have with $15 to shove $500 all in? Queen. And he hits a case queen.
No, I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, the guy showed me queen. Yeah, because he holds his card like this. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 hour?
1 hour.
It looks like this one's going to get chopped around here.
Feel better.
I went outside. What happened? 5 minutes.
Thank you for all that are emailing us at live@thebike.com. We do appreciate them.
Well, Dave, this show just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I got to say, I mean...
In spite of us.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you... for those of you out in 2+2 land, boy, the thread that started by our buddy there in Syracuse, it's got to be the biggest one of, kind of daily threads on the website.
Maybe,
if not the biggest.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Kev Math rocks.
The Vietnamese guy. Sorry.
5 players.
His girlfriend. The little Asian girlfriend.
We have 5-way action.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Go ahead and take it. I'll get it for you.
7-5-4 here.
Amazingly, that many players in the pot, and it misses everybody.
Yep.
15.
And it looks like
Paul is actually going to bet this.
Paul is going to bet. Well, he's got a gut shot wheel draw. And Ken calls with King 3. He's got a gut shot to the 6.
Now he's got a flush draw.
And Brian's in there with Ace 8. He's got a gut shot as well.
And they all have draws. Brian still has the best hand with Ace 8, huh?
Actually, you know what? Paul is double gutted there, Dave, with the Ace 3. He's got a double gutter, and the river is a king.
Yeah, but you think he really likes if the 6 comes?
I'm not accusing them of anything, but it's not good for the game.
And look at this. Ken is going to move all in. He hit a king at the end.
I mean, they know each other. I'm not trying to say that.
Well, I guess that's the best way to play No Limit, huh? Call, and hope you get there?
Thank you, sir.
With his wife.
Big line.
He used to play 2040 a lot. Yeah. And now he stopped playing 2040. Yeah, he used to play 2040 every day.
Big.
That was his game. He switched after he started making money over there.
Button here is in seat 4.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk to you too much on online here about that play last night with the Angels and White Sox.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I actually didn't get a chance to watch like a lot of Sports Center and stuff about that, but of course I'm an umpire, and I'll get to this after the hand.
Yeah, Nadiv raises it up to $20 with pocket 10s.
Did I ever call you with a bad hand?
And it's like 25, and Francois calls, and Brian calls.
And Ken call. Well, of course, Brian and Ken call.
$100 pot, king, deuce, king. Pocket 10s is still good here.
That's not a bad flock of 10s. You know what I mean? You got to look at it and go, the odds of somebody having a king goes down a little bit.
You have a king, you don't want to first row, huh?
50.
He's going to bet 50, Nadiv.
He bets about half the pot there.
And I don't think he's going to get called.
Kind of a feeler bet, see if anybody has a king.
Now, what we're talking about last night was actually to end the 9th inning. Dave, last night, the catcher for the Angels, it was a strike 3, third strike.
Right.
And he caught it in the dirt. And people who are familiar with baseball is that you need to catch a third strike cleanly. If the ball bounces,
Yeah, it didn't look like it
or
bounced to
if
me,
you
but-
drop it, you can run to first.
Right.
He basically caught it, tossed the ball, towards the rubber, started running into the dugout, and the guy in the batter's box took off for first.
Yeah.
And it's always the question because the same mechanic for umpires. If you lift your fist up, that can indicate an out. It can indicate strike 3.
Right.
It can indicate so many things.
Yeah, the consensus across most of the sports shows is just that the umpire really screwed up.
Well, it looked like the guy caught it. Now, what I told you is Pocket Queens Francois has raised here to 60. Is if I'm that umpire, I got to be damn sure that ball pops.
You gotta be, exactly.
because I'm not going to create a situation. You always want to be. You do not want to create situations like that. You almost react off of what's happening on the field, and you don't want to create a situation. It's just easy to say the guy's out. You know what I mean? We've got a call here by Brian and a call by Nadiv. And look at this, Nadiv has flopped a straight, and he's up against an overpair.
Wow.
Francois checks.
And Francois is...
And Brian bets. Brian bets 60. Wow.
No one else is watching you yet.
And let's see what Queen 10 does here. He
He's
just
gonna-
calls. And look at this, Francois is going to check raise with the Queens to 360. I think Francois is going to go broke here, Dave.
Oh, he can't get away from me. He's too much money in the pot already.
Nadiv's going to win a big one. And he's going to move all in. Nadiv has moved all in.
And Francois needs some sort of runner, or a 10 to draw. 10 to chop it up.
Yep. And he did need the case queen. Oh, okay, now we need a 10 to chop it. Oh.
No
And
good.
Nadiv takes down another big one. I'm surprised Francois played the hand that way. Guess he was trying to trap somebody.
He was, exactly. That's the one thing in this game is since it is a restricted buy-in game and these guys are only $300 or $400 or sometimes $600 deep, it's tough to get away from an overpair. It really is. One thing also I can make a little suggestion to the player who has that $300 or $400 bankroll. I can say, look for a site that gives you a nice bonus, like a nice 100% bonus to play. So that way you can deposit a couple of $100 or $300, get a nice bonus, and suddenly your bankroll is $500 or $600 to play.
Right. Well, the term sometimes is called bonus whoring. Actually, if you go online and you look up that term,
Bart, I can't believe my virgin ears.
There's
this
actually
is a family show.
There's actually like a little itinerary that you can follow that tells you how to go about qualifying for bonuses and all these little sites. With like a limited bankroll.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, you can really turn $300 or $400 into $600 or $700, and if you play well enough, suddenly you can have $800 or $900.
Brian raised here with Ace Queen, and he took it down.
Well, since you can't get rake back anymore, you better be a bonus person. Right?
Yeah.
Bonus baby.
Good flop.
Francois is going to rebuy in $500 there. And look at that, he's got 2 jack.
Wow. I guess King's got another.
Seat number 7's got king queen suited.
On this table on that seat.
Yeah, that's
15.
Makes it 15 to go.
See, I like that raise. A nice little mini raise. Build a pot. You're in position.
And Francois calls with jack deuce. Wow. Oh, he's got a pair.
2 players, you check.
Oh. I haven't seen Francois
Paul
lose.
just checks right behind him.
I haven't seen him lose a big hand, so I'm wondering if maybe is he steaming now, or is it just a matter of...
Check. Francois did not bet there on the turn.
two pair.
And the deuce is actually good, so Paul did not bet it heads up.
I had jack 3.
I'd play by Francois there.
Live.
Why would you call a $10 extra out of the small blind with jack deuce?
I don't know.
That wasn't what I was looking for, Brian. Mr. Short. Short. All right, that does it. Take it 10.
You only lost $15.
Did I make it 10?
You did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's supposed to be, guys.
That's not a raise, that's an aggravation.
Looks like there's a raise here with
Just
$10.
stuck together chip.
Taking it 4 ways. We got a $40 pot here.
Queen 9-8.
Okay. Check around.
Turns a 4 of clubs.
Yeah, I want to say that I think Alan's the best hand here. No, actually, Francois has got a queen.
Well, Paul's got a pair and a gut shot.
Well, now Francois got 2 pair.
He does. He bets 50.
Me too. I think we have the same hand.
Al's gonna call. Wow.
Wow. Well, Francois checked the flop. Al might be thinking that he's trying to steal it.
And the river's a jack, but it brings a 1-card straight to the board, and they just check it down.
Yeah.
Queen's up was
They
good.
both have 2 pair, but neither one of them's got the. Neither one of them can actually bet that.
10-8.
Yeah. And 10-8 would have gotten there, Dave.
All right, good setup, good setup.
But anyways, it's always interesting to mix it up with me in terms of baseball rules. There's so many baseball rules, Dave, out there that people don't realize. You know. The
Yeah, I
rule book is
just
so
watched it and I
thick.
just thought it was such a crap call.
Well,
I
what it
couldn't
is like,
believe it.
as we do a new setup here, you can't really. I mean, I can lift my fist up as a strike 3 mechanic, but not verbally not say that the guy is out.
Right.
And usually that drop third strike thing is.
Supposedly this guy
It's just
though.
a-
Supposedly this guy says, when it's dropped ball, he actually says, or a lot of the umpires actually say, the ball dropped, or not a catch, not a catch.
No, I've never heard
That's
that.
what all the catchers. They were talking about it on Talk Radio and Sports Center.
That the home plate umpire says it's a drop ball.
Yeah. Just
That
telling you
one's
what I read.
amazing.
Actually, what I watched.
No, usually what you say, you try to say an absence of something. Basically, it's like when someone misses a base, you don't make any signal.
Right.
At the plate, so you basically don't say anything. You might point to the guy indicating that he swings, and then and then you just leave it. But this is actually going to be the last hand of the night.
Wow.
So, please join us tomorrow for our Big 10-20 no limit game.
Yeah, I look forward to Friday nights every week. Action Fridays.
You get a new setup? Is that
Ace Queen here for Francois in seat 1.
40.
All right, Francois. That's enough.
Get a raise here. He's going to make it 35 to go there.
You hear me?
Ken's got Jack 9.
This could be an exciting way to finish the night.
Well, do we want to do one more? Or? All right, we'll do one more.
We're going to do one more.
There we go.
The reason I looked surprised at the exact same, not close, the exact same suit, everything, the same hand. Big one. That's like, I almost thought it the first time. And I
Looks like we get another ace queen.
Got another raising hand?
Seat 7. Boy, there's a guy we haven't really...
One seat.
Paul?
Well, actually, I was thinking about Jason. We haven't really heard anything from him, but Paul's got the ace queen. Oh, Jason Mr. Tight.
Paul's actually made a nice comeback there when he had the pocket kings.
There are 4 players.
So we've got 4-way action. It's an $80 pot. Queen 10 jack. And look at that. Paul's got top pair.
Top pair, top kicker.
But Ken's going to bet with an open-ended straight
45.
draw. That's 45. Bottom end of the open-ended straight draw.
Yeah, Francois got bottom pair with top end of that open in the straight draw.
And Paul just calls with the ace queen, and Francois calls.
Okay.
And Brian calls with the 9.
Well, he's got the open ended too.
Wow. The pot is now $260. 4-way action to the turn. It's a 5 of hearts. Ace queen is still good.
O'Brien's picked up a pair.
Crazy betting people.
Boy, if Ken checks here, do you really push if you're Paul? I'm surprised that Paul didn't raise there right on the flop.
75.
I mean, he was the pre-flop raiser. $75 bet here by Ken.
Well, you just want to know where you're at, and now it's really tough to know where you're at.
Well, now he's going to push the rest of his money. Looks like maybe 150 more, or 150 total.
And he's in pretty good shape here because if a king comes, they actually chop it up.
So let's see how much more it is. And wow, Ken quickly calls. We're
Yeah.
looking at an
And
over a $500 pot.
Ken needs an 8, and only an 8 to win this pot.
Yep. $500 pot, folks, to finish the night off.
That might have done
And the river is a 9.
Queens with an ace.
Boy, Paul can't like that card at the end, but he's going to take it down.
Yeah, Paul's all in anyway, so
Yep.
can't do anything about it.
Good raise. I had a
And that is going to do it for us tonight.
And I just want to throw that's a really good raise by Paul there. Had he not raised, Francois would have gotten there with the king 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. We've got our 2+2 thingy right here.
Yeah.
We appreciate everyone that responds to us and emails us. Please join us tomorrow for our big No Limit game, 10-20 No Limit. So for everyone here in the booth and for David Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Yeah, the last